represents archangels who are ready to help you.
You know, today is one of these days where I wish we could put in a Neuralink attachment from Netflix's Atlas movie starring Jennifer Lopez, which I hope you guys are caught up on Atlas and Dark Matter and all these shows. I wish I had a Neuralink where I could just put this in and you guys each put one in. We send one to each one of the Scars Club members. You put it in and you just learn everything that we've seen this week. You know, one of my biggest problems with Steel Toe and the Dabbleverse and shows like this is the amount of time they take from you. You know, Nobody Likes Onions is doing 4 hours every day in the morning, 2 hours, 4 hours every day at night. Every time I go on there, he's doing 2 shows a day. Whenever I ask people about that, by the way, they go, I think he does just 5 shows. It's 2 shows a day. Steel Toe, 2 shows a day. Then you're trying to catch up with Kevin Brennan and all of that. At the end of the week, all you've done is watch Steel Toe and Mountain. That can't be your week. It happened to me. This happened to us. We had to go through that this week where we watched almost every episode of these shows.
You'd have Imholt on the TV, and then you pause it to watch an Imholt video on the laptop, and then you pause that to watch an Imholt video on the phone, and then go through that loop.
And then the Rekeita stuff and all this LawTube stuff and the Kino Casino and the Ethan Ralph stuff that we had to watch. I got to tell you, soaking up that much of one guy or soaking up that much of one universe or soaking up that much of one saga, not diversifying your content that's coming in, that's going to lead to some health problems. It's going to make your mind morbid, like Eminem would say. My mind's morbid. I feel distracted from that. I don't feel like myself after watching all of that. So I started thinking about the people. You know, this Pat Marr, the kid, is he spending 6 hours a day on this stuff every day? It's not giving you a chance to venture out and see the other beautiful stuff out there in the universe. You know, it was refreshing to go back to see Tom Segura. Oh, Tom Segura. Oh, my God. After this week of Steel Toe, to go see Tom Segura or Joe Rogan and just experience another side of life. I can't imagine what it would feel like if I did this every week, like with what I did this week. So, you know, that's one of my pleas to the people who are involved in the Steel Toe universe, because they give you so much. You know, the other part about this, why it was so troubling, is every second of it was amazing. Yeah. Every second of it was a thrill. But it was almost like doing drugs. Yeah, the hard stuff that Aaron got himself involved with that we'll talk about. You know, the hard stuff, the hard drugs. It was almost like doing drugs. It was almost like too much of one thing is going to result in an unsafe addiction, right? Like, so this is a tough week for us. A tough week trying to figure out the balance and how to give you guys that balance and how to make you feel good after all this.
We were at our favorite mall in Scottsdale, and it was about 5:30 p.m. We had some beautiful mall time, and usually we go for sushi in Scottsdale because there's no sushi here. And instead of going to our favorite sushi restaurant, we got right back in the car and drove back so that we could listen to Imholt
stuff. Aaron Imholt on the Steel Toe Morning Show. And again, I'm a little shooken up right now. I'll be honest with everybody here. I don't know what's so funny, but I'm a little shooken up because when we did that poll, I thought it was going to be mostly ones. The fact that I'm a little concerned right now here in real time is that poll, when I said, are you caught up with the Steel Toe thing, it was mostly 2s saying they haven't. That was not my plan. Because when I was sitting back watching this, it seemed like the whole world had tuned in. But of course they didn't. Of course the whole world didn't tune in. Because why would you? Why would people like Robin Tran and that side of the world even know about this? You know, we've done our best to not cover Steel Toe on the show. So this is going to be tricky.
Should we just get it over with?
Maybe we should. Maybe we should finally show people
because
what we've been dealing with.
Because you're just going to get more annoyed about it.
I am kind of, I'll tell you.
We should just do it right off the bat.
I'll tell you, I'm kind of annoyed.
It's going to be so fun.
It will be. Okay, why don't we, because I think it's very important to see this through my perspective. I'm going to quickly get me that first video that I want to show everyone because I think that's very important. Make sure that's queued up for me. So we've got a video to show you that's, this big thing happened to Steel Toe. And I'll give you the rundown very briefly to the best of my recollection. Let me pull up the picture of them first. We've got this beautiful picture. Is that what you sent me here?
Yeah, I got 2 options.
Here they are, and this option is fine. Here they are, the Steel Toe morning show. Of course, this is Aaron and his beautiful ex-wife, April. And you've seen me. I hope you've seen me. I used to draw her. Remember, they called her Mega Mind, of course, because of this forehead issue she has and the way she parts her hair, like Dennis the Menace. I didn't come up with Megamind. I saw a lot of people giving me props for Megamind. No, I was just cheerleading this term. Megamind is, of course, her actual name. So, but you've seen me draw her. You've seen me bring up this couple a few times. We showed you the sex stuff, but a lot of people are not tuned into this universe. So I'll give you a quick, brief breakdown. The Steel Toe Morning Show was these two. This guy started his career on Real Radio in Minnesota, okay? These two are white trash people from Minnesota. These are poor white trash people from Minnesota. Their show is driven by a hunger and a greed for cash. They start every show with a $300 goal. The reason that they're on 10 times a week is because every time they get to broadcast, they get to meet their goal. So every time they get a new episode, hey, the goal starts at 300. He starts doing the bidding. I showed you that, a little bit of that last week, and he tries to get that goal paid off. Having his listeners donate $20 here, $5 here. And as we watched, we learned that it's really the same 6 people almost every day and night. They do the Steel Toe Morning Show and the evening show. Almost every day and night, the same people are meeting this guy's goal. So this is why he's doing so many shows. If he only did 1 show a week, he'd only make $300 a week. Does 5 shows a week. Well, what's 300 times 5? That's a lot of money for him and his beautiful wife. Well, they started doing this. Aaron here and April started becoming they started embroiling themselves in fights with all the podcasters, including myself. They got in fights with Melton. They got in fights with me. They got in fights with Kevin Brennan. They got in fights with nearly everybody they came into contact with. And they were really living high off all the attention. Melton started doing to Steel Toe what we were doing to him all those years ago, harassing him, covering him, tracking him, as they call it. Melton did such a good job with his Steel Toe coverage that, believe it or not, this one, the wife, quit the show. Remember, she did that very unusual bikini stream where she came on this show in a bikini and started gyrating around and doing all these moves. People were accusing her of being on drugs. They were accusing her of doing meth. They were accusing Aaron and April of swinging with Nick Rekeita and his wife from Rekeita Law, the law tuber. I guess they live in the same neighborhood, in this Minnesota neighborhood. I had the pleasure of looking at both their homes. Screenshots. People are sending me both their homes. These guys live in the middle of nowhere. They'll have like a house. It's in the middle of nowhere. You got to walk 11 miles to get to the next house. So his neighbors with this Nick Rekeita, they live maybe 11 minutes from each other. 2 totally different style houses. Aaron, more of a shack, more of a $100,000 starter home. The Rekeitas, they live in a nicer $450,000 home. And in the area that these people live in, that gets you a home. That gets you a nice, big, beautiful, creepy, liminal home. So they start hanging out with these Rekeitas, and they start doing these hot tub streams with them, and everybody's accusing April of being on drugs all of a sudden. And, we're watching this, and we're watching her behavior, and we're watching this bikini stream, and we're watching her twisted movements, and we're hoping, we're wishing, we're fantasizing that she's on drugs.
No, I don't know if this is a girls thing, but when everyone was like, oh, they're swinging with the Rekeitas.
Yeah.
Oh, April's on drugs. She's on meth. I didn't believe that at all.
No,
For
well,
some reason, I was like, oh, you guys.
again, we're
that's too
fantasizing.
far.
These are fool's fantasies. We do this with everybody. We hope, we pray.
But I thought
usually
there
that
was no
stuff,
way.
yeah, usually that's just, that's like saying Tony Hinchcliffe shrink wraps himself and puts a tube down his throat at a sex show while everybody comes onto him from he's at the bottom of a pit and they're all jerking off at this sex. We're hoping, we're fantasizing, and stuff like that doesn't usually come true, or at least if it is true, it doesn't come to light. Right? We usually don't get those answers. So Melton's going after them. They're fighting with everybody. They're not doing well. And April is one of these people during this time months ago. She's on Twitter and she's fighting back with everybody. Okay. She's every person that leaves a nasty comment. She's telling them,
concerned about me. You incels.
You guys are a bunch of incels. You're this. And he's putting her in harm's way every chance that he can. So during this period where everybody's attacking April and attacking him, he's reading chat comments, and we've shown you some of this, but he's always reading chat comments. April, you look like you're on drugs. April looks like she's going to cry. And then you'd have April sitting there. She was in hell. She was in hell because he didn't protect her. This is your wife. And you let these monsters just attack her day in and day out. You let her get in a bikini in front of the same monsters that wish her demise every day. You let people see that. You let her go on Twitter and fight back with these people, encouraging the harassment. So what happens? We couldn't believe this. This could have been the biggest thing in this whole saga. April quit Steel Toe. We could have.
I think last show we were going, oh, we got to talk about.
I think
Steel
that's
Toe,
all
and
that had
was
happened.
Just
maybe.
over April quitting and them announcing they were getting divorced.
Well,
perhaps?
hold on. So April quits the show, and we couldn't believe it, right? This would be like if Jules quit the show, right? That would be crazy, right? That's enough to feed on for months. Why did she quit? Where is she? Is she angry with Aaron? Has she moved on? Has she gotten another job? So that could have been a big enough story as it was. April quits the show. Now, while April was gone, and we didn't know at first if she was just taking a week off from all the negativity. It's a lot of negativity she was getting. Maybe she just needs a week off. And that's kind of what Aaron was discussing. But very soon after April left the show, Aaron almost found himself excited that she was gone. And very soon after her leaving, I thought we were going to tune in and hear about how Aaron misses her and hear about how Aaron's mad at the audience and these people for driving her off the show and how he needs her back. But no, Aaron was excited. Aaron was thrilled that his wife had quit the show and maybe was going to go get a real job. Because then maybe Aaron didn't have to beg as hard for these $300 donations every day. Maybe if she went and got a real job, he doesn't have to work as hard. And then he could pay all the bills with her money. And, because he loves that money stuff. And he was really excited. And almost 2 days after she had left the show, he was congratulating himself. And he goes, I was so worried. He's talking about, I was so worried I wouldn't be able to do the show by myself. But now I realize that I can. And this is one, and it was almost, he didn't even give a fuck that she was driven off the show by, people harassing her every day. He didn't give a shit about that. All he cared about is that the donations were still coming in. He didn't lose a dollar. And that he was able to do the show by himself. And he was so proud of that. And I thought that was so twisted. Then the next piece of news comes in. And I think he hand-delivered us this news. We couldn't believe it. Everybody was predicting, is there trouble? Erin was, she had left the show, and Erin was already making comments about flirting with other girls. Erin was reading nasty comments about April and again, not protecting her during this time. And we couldn't believe it. And I remember saying, if I were April, I'd be getting real pissed at how Erin's handling me quitting the show.
Thank God we didn't talk about this on the last show, because I was about to do a whole thing sticking up for April.
Yeah.
And how dare you treat her like this when you put her through all this shit
Sure.
in front of everybody.
So she leaves the show. He says and does some of the worst stuff imaginable while she's gone. Now, again, we could do a whole saga. This could be, the whole story could be about how awful his little comments and digs were and how he handled her leaving the show. That could have been it. Then he comes on, and I'm just giving you a rough timeline here. Then he comes on and announces him and April are getting divorced. Yeah. Holy moly. So every, hater's wildest dream just came to reality. And everybody, we used to do this about Ethan and Gila Klein all the time. Divorce, question mark? Are they getting divorced? Remember how many people would do videos? Is Gila going to leave Ethan Klein? Again, it's a fantasy, right? It's something that never really happens, right? People don't get divorced from internet comments, right? But lo and behold, Erin and April are getting divorced because of all this. Okay. So he comes on and he starts spilling. And once again, we're finding him to be really insensitive. Now you're thinking about, wow, they're getting divorced. She quit her job. She left everything behind to co-host this show with him. She's been raising his 3 kids. By the way, he splits 3 kids with an ex-wife. By splits, he might see them 2 hours a week tops. He's got 3 kids with his ex-wife. You know how much he pays them? Melton dug up their child support stuff. You know how much he pays his ex-wife a month in child support for 3 kids? $800.
On that divorce,
800.
in that divorce paper stream he did, his blades were crazy.
Sure. That's Melton. So he's paying $800 a month to his wife, and this whole time he's going, oh, I'm paying child support. I'm doing everything. That's not a dad. That's a deadbeat dad. You only giving your kids $800 a month, 3 kids, $800 a month. That's deadbeat. You only seeing your kids for a half hour every week. You're a deadbeat dad. That's not half and half. He doesn't want to see those kids. He's got no business. He's got no interest in being a father. So they get divorced. He starts spilling the beans, and the stuff coming out of his mouth about the divorce is some of the most disgusting stuff I've ever heard. Now, I'm imagining April, I'm going, where's she staying? Has she had to move back to her parents' house? And at this time, Melton's making videos about her. They're all using her last name. They're changing all the metadata on Google so that if she ever tries to get a job, all they see is April's done this, April's done that. Almost impossible for this girl to get another job. And all the while, Erin is saying and doing some of the most despicable stuff I've ever seen somebody to do to somebody that was just married to somebody, I think one of the more revolting things I saw is he would get on with Gino's
Keanu,
Gino, Flat Broke Gino. I guess this couple, Erin and April, are also friends with Gino and Keanu, who we're going to talk about in a second, because, boy, not flat broke anymore.
Gino.
Gino is now rich. We'll show you proof on that in a second. But so Erin starts doing shows with Gino's girlfriend, who claims to be good friends with April, and the whole time he's flirting with Gino's girl. He's even making comments that, oh, if I ever find another wife, I want her to be just like you, Keanu. You're the best. Flirting with her. Not only flirting with her, but getting giddy, recalling all these sex stories from his life, talking sex with her, getting very romantic. We've got some clips. We'll show you this stuff. I'm trying to give you a rough breakdown here. And also talking about how he's out going to bars, flirting with new girls, going out to karaoke bars and flirting with girls. So imagine April leaves the show, they get divorced, and within the same week, he's out flirting with other girls, talking about who could be his next girlfriend, asking Keanu if she has any friends that are just like her that he could date, and just overwhelmed with excitement about the fact that he's now a free man. He doesn't have to pay her bills, how he's, on the market now, how he could find a new girl. I just can't imagine, and that was enough for me to go, this is one of the more remarkable men on the planet. Because if I were to be divorced, you wouldn't see me for probably years. If I got divorced, I would have like a gun to my head. Not him. He was out and about, happier than ever, in great moods, celebrating. And we go, oh my God, this girl's going to kill herself. So cut to a few weeks later, he's on Kevin Brennan's stream, MLC.
Well, before that, a tape came out of Nick Rekeita.
Yes. Should we just show that clip, maybe?
Yes,
we'll show
I was looking.
So, yeah, do the Nick Rekeita blowjob tape. We'll show you that. And again, if you saw all this, if you had to sit through all this for 2 weeks and you heard every host of the world talk about this, again, we're very sorry. I didn't know how many people watching had no idea what's been going on. So I just got to fill people in real quick. I'm not going to waste anyone's time here with this stuff. So we got
it's at the beginning of that clip. It's really hard to find the originals, and so many videos have been made.
So then this happens. So remember, they're divorced, and then this happens. So everybody knows that Aaron and April were good friends with the Rekeitas. Do you guys know Rekeita Law? He did. He used to do those legal streams. I remember seeing this Rekeita years and years and years ago. I forgot what. He was definitely brought up on Redbar 10 years ago for something. So it's nice to see him here again. But everybody was saying that they think April has been staying with the Rekeitas after getting divorced from Aaron. Okay, that she's staying with this family down the street. The Rekeitas are Nick Rekeita, his beautiful wife, Kayla, right? And their 5 children. Yep. So Aaron has 3 children, and the Rekeitas have 5 children, ranging from very young to the oldest being 16 years old. Only 2 more years for his time capsule, huh? Okay, we'll show you this clip. So this clip, remember,
grave.
At this point in time, April and Aaron have announced they're getting divorced. Nobody has heard from April. Nobody has seen her. And then all of a sudden, this Rekeita clip floods the internet. Watch this.
Been exposed by Aaron from Steel Toe Morning Show.
Is that this? Okay.
Let's get it. I played yesterday.
Okay, so this is a guy. We don't have just this clip
I know.
somewhere?
I was just
come
looking
on.
for like 20 minutes, and I can't find.
Okay, I'll
the
let
one
this guy
by
do it
itself.
then. Here, I'll do this guy. Here, this guy will explain this.
From Steel Toe Morning Show.
I was hoping I didn't have to do any of this part, by the way.
Let's take a look again at this video that I played
this is the clip
yesterday.
that surfaces.
But this time, the audio has been enhanced by Andy Worski, and there's been some context added by Malcolm X on Twitter.
Oh wait, I got it. Someone sent the original.
That's okay.
one.
We're already in this. Here we go. Can you see him down there?
There's someone under the table.
Why now?
Okay, the audio's gonna get really
Okay,
bad.
so you got this Rekeita tape. So this comes out, and you see Rekeita. I hope you could see through my screen. He's not looking very well. He's looking like me, season 20, episode 1. Looking very sick. I mean, his eyes are popping out of his head. His nose is grown from his skull. He's losing hair. He's got wrinkles. He's ghost white. And he appears to be high out of his mind, sitting at his desk, receiving a blowjob. There he is, and that's what they're showing. Now, they're suspecting that this is April giving him a blowjob. Let's find out. Here we go.
Okay, the audio's gonna get really bad.
Why would they put this music and stuff in
I
here?
sent you the better one.
All right. Because it's like you guys are trying to raise the audio and show us what's going on, but you've put all this music in there. That doesn't really help anybody. Okay, here we go. The silent one is much... Here we go. This is what people saw. This is what got people alarmed. So look at him. They're saying he's receiving.
Ooh. Why is my camera still on? I'm trying to shut the show down. I'm like, oh, we'll play the credits. No.
Father of
What
five.
we'll do is we'll sit here. Guys, here's credits. Oh my God, Nick's drunk. Yes. Cool. I'll do it at your kids' family thing or whatever.
So I don't know where
Why would you hire me as a babysitter? Don't. You should hire me though. Is that an asshole? An asshole. Here I am. A bunch of degenerate Japanese shit in my air cone because he can't fucking spade it. He can't read.
This Rekeita.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, my rate is below Obama levels. Do you want me to be drunk like this tomorrow? Every day. I don't give a fuck. Who cares, guys? The reality is that you have two options in this world. Either realize what people do to you, or you do the same thing to them. I don't do the second thing. I realize what people do to me.
Handsome guy.
You can't stop him.
So he's getting blowjobs under that desk.
Woo!
I hate to even say that on this show.
Warlock says
There's people in the chat going,
inside.
whoa, what the fuck?
So see, people haven't even seen this. See,
I
this
didn't
breaks
even
my
put
heart.
this
I feel
clip
like I
in the
saw this.
notes,
I
and
know.
that
We really
because
thought
I
everybody
was
would have
like,
seen this.
There's no way that
Okay.
everybody...
I'm so sorry. Well, this is going to, again, it could be painful for the people who had to sit through this 100 times already this week, but here we are. So he's getting blown, and this clip shakes the whole internet. Apparently, he's got a ton of enemies, right? He's involved in all these little universes that pick on him, and he fights with a bunch of people. So when this tape came out, there were a ton of eyes on it. Let's finish it up.
Of you, there are two wolves, mostly because you have double vision, and would probably do the same. Cigarette wall. Pop 215 says, Nick, you fucked, huh?
Ooh.
I mean, I'm happy.
Okay, so this clip comes out, and people start tweeting it, and they go, you know, and I think people were just joking around at this point, but somebody made some sort of a tweet with that clip, and they said, hey, Aaron, is that your ex-wife April under his desk giving him some head there?
No, even at this point, I didn't believe that at all.
No,
Still, I was like,
of course
there
not,
ain't
because
no
that would
way.
be crazy. Imagine Aaron and April get divorced, and then she's on stream giving this
Sucking a
junkie
guy's dick.
a blowjob live. I mean, that's too fantastic, right? Well, Aaron confirms that it probably is her. Okay, so he responds to a tweet. I don't remember what he said, but he's like, yeah, I think that could be her, which led a lot of people to go ape. So, long story short, it was her. April, Aaron, Nick, and his wife have been swinging for months, doing coke and meth together, swinging. So Aaron's on MLC, and they're
Do you want
going
that clip?
over this clip. Yeah, let's show you this. Again, it's a remarkable amount of information I'm trying to get out all at once. It's kind of frying my fucking brain trying to think about
doing
how to do
great.
this, but you'll see it. It'll all come together soon, and then we'll get to the good parts. So we're watching MLC live.
Hey,
The
well,
internet
and
kind
we,
of blew up over this Rekeita clip, and everybody wants to talk to Aaron
Yeah.
about what could possibly happening. The rumors about April are swirling, so he goes on MLC.
so
and they're
Aaron's the
talking.
talk of the town, and he happens, Kevin Brennan and this guy, Chad Zumock, they hate Aaron, right? They're like enemies with him. But Aaron decides to do their show to talk about the divorce, right? Between him and April. That's why he was on, right?
Yes.
Talking about the divorce, talking about this Rekeita clip. And do we have the time code for this?
It's pretty much the beginning of this one.
Beginning. So he's on, and in real time, wait till you see what happens while they're interviewing. And it was so nice because we had tuned in watching this live for the very first time. We've never seen Kevin Brennan live in our lives, but we decided to tune in, see what this was all about. And this happens. Watch this.
Live stream.
I will stand for a lot of rumors, but I will not tolerate sloppy toppy rumors.
Okay, is it physically possible she was blowing him while he was doing the live stream?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm not.
So he was alluding to the fact that she was at their house, though. Okay, right? Before this was all happening, the blowing.
I don't
thing?
think we knew. I
We
think
didn't
he
know
was kind of confirmed. Yeah.
But
I
he
can't
did
remember.
confirm. I mean, on Twitter, he kind of goes back and
was
forth.
like,
But on Twitter, he's
"Yeah."
like, "This could be her." And now they're asking him. They've
playing
got him
coy.
live. Okay, here we go.
Blowing him while he was doing the live stream?
I don't believe so.
Hey, I'm not trying to ambush you, Aaron. I'm not
Kevin.
trying to.
How
Watch
fucking
this.
dare you?
But I'm getting tons of messages, and I don't know if you want to deal with this or talk about it, or if you know anything.
We're not reading messages people
No,
are sending
you need to. You need to. This is big
I
for the
don't.
show. No, this
I
is
don't.
big for the show.
Watch this.
Everyone, I mean, I'm getting bombarded that April has been arrested today with the Ricardas. And-
Look at that. So while they're on a live stream with Aaron, Chad Zumock, Aaron's big enemy, gets messages, and we're all hearing about this too while watching this live.
I mean, the
that
fact that
April has been arrested with the Rekeitas. And they've all three been arrested. Here's a screenshot here that Chad's showing for being caught with drugs. Okay, so this is how Aaron's finding out about this for the first time. Okay, so remember, she quits the show. They get divorced. This Rekeita video comes out of him being very high, getting a blowjob. People suspect it's April. He's on MLC to talk about if it's April or not. While he's on, news breaks that April has been arrested. There's her mugshot. April, our April, arrested with the Rekeitas, Rekeita law, for this. Watch this.
Their mugshots are online. It's all over the place, dude. Do you know anything?
I don't believe that.
He doesn't believe it.
Is that her?
I don't think so. No, that's not. No,
Look at this.
there's no way.
I mean,
He
I'm
goes
getting
to look at his
bombarded
phone.
with this. I'm not joking. It's
Like,
not even.
when you say bombarded,
That's been edited. That's for sure been edited.
When you
Nick
say
Rekeita and
bombarded,
his
you-
wife are in jail for possession, along with Aaron Imholt.
No, that's
So
definitely.
we're shooting up like rockets in our house. And again, if the story ended here,
It would be enough.
that's enough to eat, right? That's enough to feed off for months. We were screaming. We were shouting. We couldn't believe it. April's been arrested. And like many of you, the emotions and the ideas racing through our heads. We don't know what's going on.
The fact that we were watching this live at all is like insane.
Yeah. So this is where, and
Never.
when did this air? Because then we should kind of give people a timeline. Do we
Like
know
a
that
week ago,
air date of
7
this?
days ago?
It had to be a
9
little
days
longer
ago,
than that.
10 days
Let's
ago?
pretend 10 days
I think
ago.
it was
So
like 2 days after the last show.
okay, here we go. Let's watch the rest.
Been altered.
Okay.
So he doesn't believe it
I'm
at
just
first.
saying.
I don't believe that. That's silly.
I don't know.
Chad went with his instincts.
I'm
Yeah.
just telling you what everyone's sending me. Literally,
Everybody. He's being bombarded by two things.
This looks real to me.
Gonzo, Aaron, is it true you really think you're funny? And do you also believe the majority of people who watch you
Don't mind
cannot
Kevin, he's
see
very
through your inauthentic persona?
Look at Aaron here.
Do
I
I?
think
I don't think Gonzo thinks I'm funny. That
I
much
think
I'm sure of.
He's being nice.
Yeah, no, he's being very complimentary. My inauthentic persona. Could you pick a worse one than this if you were being
Just
inauthentic?
reading super
No, but
chats.
we'll
get back to this,
I might
arrest.
use that as a title. I like the wording of
Inauthentic
that.
persona.
I think the way that pops, inauthentic persona. Thank you, Gonzo. Agent Quan reminder: Snitch Zumach is a confirmed police informant
Holy shit.
and enemy of the people. Make sure to unsubscribe.
Look at
from
Aaron.
his
He's going
Patreon
back
and
to
YouTube
check his
before the
phone.
long
His
weekend
phone's
and have a
blowing up
great
now.
Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
Agent Coral.
please sign up to my Patreon, everybody. I'm killing.
Look at
it
Aaron
right
up
now.
here.
Chad, are you a confirmed police informant? That's why you never go to jail?
So Aaron's checking his phone. He's just heard about
There's
this
a lot of
arrest.
stuff about my life you don't know.
So you are?
I'm not going to confirm, deny anything.
Now you got Aaron looking to see. Redbar is copying Win by 2 radio.
If I'm getting these
Redbar
messages, Aaron is 100% getting these messages.
Look. So here's Aaron.
And he's
looking
not
there.
saying anything right now, so something's going down.
I'm just checking.
You got to check.
He
I'm
knows
just
it's
saying,
real.
thank
It's
not
you.
good.
Thank you. Yeah. New
Something's
member.
going on. I just got another message.
Redbar is copying Win by 2 radio. He is.
She was arrested at 10 a.m. this morning.
She was
I'm just
arrested.
saying, dude. I'm not trying to be a narc. This is breaking news, guys.
Pun intended. He's not trying to be a narc.
This is not good. This is not good.
It's fake. If it's not fake, the show will never end. Will Heron, Aaron, can
Oh
you
my-
tell?
Look
Oh
at
my
Aaron.
God.
Here's Aaron.
It's real?
Whoa. Holy shit. Wow.
He puts his head in his hands.
I'm getting more messages right now.
Look at
Oh
him.
no. Oh no.
Wait, Aaron, this
Oh.
is real?
I
Holy
don't know.
fuck. Wow. I just got another text about it.
Fuck.
Dude, you got some work to do, brother.
Well, I mean,
I mean, technically you
I
don't.
think we can get those papers signed now.
The divorce.
Wait, so this is real?
I just looked at the roster,
What roster? Tonight's lineup?
the county jail roster.
I just got an inmate number. Her inmate number. This is and the county jail number. Wow. Holy
How do people
fuck.
find this out this quick?
They find everything. They found out who my fucking cousin was.
Look at Aaron.
Wow, that's like the same thing.
I'm just,
I mean-
I feel, oh man. I
It's
feel
literally just
so-
happened.
I feel so fucking bad for those kids.
This is worse than going on Ray's podcast.
Wait, they were arrested this morning driving?
It's
Or did somebody snitch on them and they went to their house?
yes.
Well, now I can't. Now the cat's out of the bag. I'm not telling any tales out of school. This has been a problem for a while, and I've been trying to tell them to fucking stop and get help.
Finally, he's free.
So the Reketas and April have turned into drug lords. They've been doing coke. I'm sure it's cut with meth. I mean, I can't even imagine. You know, people in the 80s used to do coke every day before Adderall and Vyvanse were available, right? Imagine doing coke as an adult every day to keep it up. You know, that would be really grueling. You know, try doing coke even for one night in your 40s. Your nose is hurting. You're a mess. You feel like you got a sinus infection. The next day you wake up, you're basically crippled. I mean, it's almost impossible to do coke after a certain age, especially when you've got Adderall, you've got Vyvanse. You could get that same feeling in a much cleaner package. So imagine you're doing coke every day. So at this point, I guess April's been living with the Reketas, doing coke, doing meth with the whole family every single day for months. Let's hear a little bit more of this. You're not going to believe where Aaron takes us from here. This is already, again, wild enough, right? This is the wildest story already. But Aaron's going to take this even further. And you're really not going to believe where he goes with this. Let's play a little bit more of this to see how it all came down. Aaron seems to be in shock. Although at this point, a lot of people were accusing Aaron of calling the police himself or tipping off the police. You know, his wife runs away with the Rekeitas. They were all doing drugs.
I know we can't even get into all the conspiracies because we'd be here for 50 years. That's why we're
Exactly.
rushing through this.
We're trying to
beginning
rush
part to
through
get to
this
the good
setup to
stuff.
get to the good stuff so we could show you a different side. And where I met with Aaron, I spoke with him. I've been helping the family, right? I've been doing all that. Okay, here, watch.
Is her middle name? Can I just say this?
No,
Is it
no,
Diane?
don't. We don't need her middle name.
Chad, it's real. It's real, Chad.
Okay, I'm getting all this. I don't know.
Okay, he just said it's real. So wait. So they were arrested driving, or they broke into, or they went to their house?
I don't know. I think with how viral he went from that stream, my theory is someone might have called the police
Or child welfare services?
or child services or something. Yeah, that's probably it. Fucking A.
They're saying
God,
Melton's
I
fans
fucking-
are behind
dude,
it.
I fucking told them. You got to cut this shit out.
Oh.
I mean, I guess now that it's happened, I can come out and say it. This is what a lot of our fights were about the last 6 months.
We're dying. We're screaming. We're shouting. We're
Knocking
doing
this shit the
jumping
fuck
jacks.
Holy fuck.
Don't worry, you're not going to see me cry or anything like that. I'm fucking irate right now.
Steel toe.
They're saying Melton's fans did this.
Okay, it doesn't matter what they're saying, but
It doesn't matter who did it. They had it. I mean,
and what Aaron's
Interesting.
saying is true. Like if you're this drunk and live streaming, you can call fucking child services.
yeah,
Just
if you go on that, I'm sorry, Kevin, I apologize. If you go on that fucked up, this is what I've been telling this motherfucker for a long time. I've been telling anybody who would fucking listen. You're putting your goddamn family at risk and everybody around you.
Okay, so I want to let us know. From this point, so let's pretend this was 12 days ago. He's been nonstop celebrating and chatting about this and giving us every little piece of information for the last 12 days. Almost 8 hours a day of steel toe stuff. And just like I'm glued to this right now, it shuts me up and I'm glued to the man talking, Aaron M. Holt, rise to power or fall. We'll find out. This is what we've been glued to for the last 12 days. We can't get enough. Every piece of information out of his mouth is fulfilling. It's all bliss. And you're just standing there in shock. I mean, even right now, when he just learns about it, he's already given us so much, right? I knew they were doing this. I've been telling them to stop. This is the shit I've been dealing with. Listen.
The guy was a fucking ticking time bomb. I said this was going to
And it's
happen.
Rekeita law,
you gotta
right?
Look after your fucking family. You got to knock it off. And he puts his wife, he puts my soon-to-be ex-wife, and all 5 of his fucking kids in danger because he's a selfish, narcissistic fucking cunt, and he can't fucking stop himself. God damn it. What a fucking moron. Hopefully, this sends his ass to rehab where he fucking belongs.
Uh-oh.
Well, Kev, you got to break something big on your show.
this is really unbelievable.
Oh, my God. Well, I guess I'm not going to boxing tonight. You guys want to hang out for a while?
Well, you're gonna have to go
so
live
right
tonight.
there. You guys want to hang out for it? He's already excited. He's excited. The attention's on him. You know, if this happened to me, I'd be so humiliated. I mean, really, I think I'd probably click the camera off. You wouldn't see me for months. I'd be that humiliated. I'd be devastated. I couldn't look the internet in the eye after just something like this happening. My wife leaving the show, getting divorced, then caught possibly giving a blowjob to one of the most decrepit drug users the internet's ever seen, and then being arrested with this family. I would be mortified. Not
and that's
Aaron.
why it's so hard to figure this out, because everyone's doing these conspiracies about, did Aaron call the
Yeah.
cops? Did he know about this already because of his demeanor here? Or is he just a sociopath?
Well, I don't like this word sociopath loses all its meaning because
know.
everybody throws this around online. He's something. He's got some sort of a disorder, because any normal person would be humiliated. They would be covered in shame. They wouldn't know what to do next. They would need some time off to think about this. Not Aaron. Aaron took this. He caught the ball. He ran. And he's been online nonstop in one of the better moods of his life, telling every little detail to the point where he's now incriminated April and the Rekeitas and himself. He's currently being investigated. There's a rumor that Aaron is being investigated now for child endangerment. Oh my God, there's so much.
Now people are going, I feel bad for him.
Okay,
Oh, wait,
hold on.
wait.
Just wait. That's what we mean. He did the rise, right? I feel bad for him. Maybe we had Aaron all wrong. Maybe April was the problem and Aaron was secretly dealing with this. Hold your horses.
Anyway, right?
I mean, looks like it, right?
You almost have to now.
God, I'm really mad.
And
I
really
can't
happy.
believe Chad was actually right about this. This
My
is
phone is
mind-boggling.
blowing the fuck up from just people. It's just I'm like I couldn't deny it, and
But Chad, if you do a stream like that, like he did, if you're the wife or anyone else, and now I can't protect April from the fucking she's not there all the time rumors because she was there. Doesn't somebody in that fucking house with half a brain take those fucking drugs or whatever after that stream and throw them the fuck out? Because people are going to call if you go fucked up on stream like that. I hope it was worth it, Nick. I hope going on and acting like a fucking asshole on your stream, and to the person who was down in the studio with him at the time, I hope it was fucking worth it, giggling in the fucking corner and not shutting that down like you fucking should have. God damn it. I fucking warned them all. I told them.
And you
I'm
told
tired.
you
I'm tired of being right about these fucking people, by the way.
Okay,
These
so-
I told you so's do not feel good.
So you
Okay. Was there any more from this that we should
Nah,
play?
that's-
Okay.
you get
So what
the-
happens next here, Jules?
Well, did you want to talk about your
of
involvement?
course, but I think maybe we should show these Kino Casino clips first. This is where it gets crazy. And again, we're leaving a lot of stuff on the floor. I don't know where I could recommend you guys go to get the full story, because again, the full story is like 100+ hours of video content to get through, which we've taken in. I can't recommend that you go out and try to watch that 100 hours of all the Steel Toes, all the Meltons, all the Kino Casinos, all the Alex Stein, all the Law
Ethan
Tubers.
Ralph.
But we'll show you some of our favorite clips. Should we go to Kino Casino where he starts? Okay, is that in up next?
Yes.
Wait till you see this. So I got a new favorite show, this Kino Casino, starring Ames Andy Worski. Now, Andy Worski was a guy, he used to listen to Redbar. I think he called in on the show once.
You did a man bun with him once.
Yeah, and and then I saw this video of him years later where he was involved in some sort of street fight with somebody where one of his friends pulled out a gun on a guy and Andy Worski was yelling, "Aim, aim." So we started calling him Aim, Aim. Turns out the whole internet was calling this guy Aim, Aim as well. They still bring it up to this day. Was that like a... Anyway, he does a show now, and this is, what is this? Kino Casino.
Kino
And what else do
Casino.
people need to know about that show?
This is my first time watching
This
it,
is a
so-
show on Kick. Start watching. Aaron goes on this show. Now, Aaron is going on everybody's show. Okay, so he's on Kevin Brennan. He starts seeing all the attention that he's getting, and he's loving it because finally, he's famous. This is really all he cares about. Even till this day, I'm listening to Steel Toe this morning. Somebody asks him, Aaron, do you want to be famous? And he said, yes. He loves this more than anything. So if he's getting eyes on him, his stream shot up from 1,000 views to 25,000 views. The super chats are rolling in, and everybody over the last 12 days wanted a piece of Aaron. Everybody wanted to interview him. All these shows that, he's always wanted to be a part of, all these online bullies. Now he's finally one of their friends, or so he thinks. So he's getting a ton of attention. And these guys like Kino Casino, this Andy Worski and Alex Stein, and all these people, they're getting him on their shows. They're pretending to be friends with him. They're egging him on. They're saying, this is so cool. Keep telling us more. And Aaron, stupidly, is spilling everything. He's so easily gassed up by these guys. And you could tell, anybody could tell these guys are making fun of him. These guys are interviewing a fool, but Aaron doesn't know this. So Aaron's going on any podcast he can. And before the Rekeitas, who are in jail, before his ex-wife, April, gets to speak, he speaks for them. And he starts spilling their personal lives for the last 6 months. He describes every hour of Nick's personal life, every hour of his personal life, and every hour of April's personal life, only thinking about the attention it's bringing him. Now, this isn't any sort of attention that I'd ever want, so I can't even imagine that. But he is, miraculously feeding off this, and he's so excited that everybody wants to talk to him now. We're going to show you this. To me, this was where everything got the craziest. This Kino Casino stream. So hopefully we can catch some of this. And this will explain some of the story, some of the more unbelievable parts. Let's see if these boys are going to load up here. Guys. Here we come. Okay, so...
just skip ahead till when you see Aaron coming in.
Okay, great. Let's do that first. So here's Kino Casino. Let's skip ahead till we see Aaron. Okay, yeah, they did have a little talk about him beforehand. That's Andy Worski, new friend of mine, by the way. And I want to say this before saying I'm friends or hate anybody. I know this whole universe, they all kind of hate each other, too. So, like, Ethan Ralph, I think, hates Andy Worski.
It's really scary in here.
Some of these guys hate Dick Master. They all kind of either like each other or hate each other. I'm on all of your sides today, okay? Because I got in trouble. I was doing one of these riffs where I said I like Vito and Dick Masterson, because they were getting chummy with Josh Denny. So I'm like, oh, I like you guys, which I do. But then I heard that got to the Kiwi Farms owner who hates Dick Masterson, and he heard that I like Dick Masterson. So now he might think that I'm like uncool now.
You were like, no,
I can't have that. So let's just say I don't know who to hate, who to like, but as far as this Aaron stuff goes, bravo to everybody
guy in
involved.
The chat is like, ugh, Mike, you know nothing about this I don't even know.
Nothing
about this deep web sector shit.
Based on
and I'm
saying
like,
what?
we don't want to
Wait,
know.
but that's not true. Based on what? That I love Andy Worski?
Or, by the way, you're telling the story. We're doing a quick recap.
This is a quick recap.
I just wanted to say, no, we don't know anything about that side of the internet, and we're very scared.
Yes,
so.
This is the part of the internet that I'm telling everybody I can't really... Well, we'll see, because they did a great job here. Everybody involved did an amazing job, from Ethan Ralph to Alex Stein to these guys. Whatever they did to get Aaron to spill these beans, it was masterful. And we got to salute them, because the clips you're about to see, no matter if you hate them or you like them, put all that aside today.
The sector. I don't even know what that is. I'm scared.
Don't worry about it. And we don't need to know all the ins and outs of this universe,
we're
because
just here for Aaron. We're sorry if we're saying the wrong thing about the sector.
Don't worry. It's like we can't. I mean, we've got our eyes on every little thing going on this internet. And you can only spend so much time on one part of the universe. Me investing my whole life learning about their universe, it's not going to do me very good on this show. It's not going to be good for me. Okay. So I know what I know, and it's enough to get you through today. Okay? Don't worry about what I know about the universe compared to what you know. Okay. I think Aaron's about to come on here. Let's see. You guys are going to love this part. This is so crazy. We were listening to this one. I'll tell you where I was when we heard this. In the car on our way to Phoenix to go to the mall where I got this shirt. And these guys usually the drive to Phoenix is so unbearable. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes, but it's like a shitty long hour and 40. This made that drive. We were already in Phoenix. I wanted to sit in the parking lot and listen to more. Okay, here's Aaron. Let's see what happens. You're going to love these clips.
he would see no problem ethically with.
And I love
doing
this fat
drugs.
guy.
When you're partying
People-
with people and shit, and you're and remember, he's heading to these sex clubs.
He had a funnel.
All right, guys. All right, Ash. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hide you off the screen. I'm gonna add Aaron to this call. I'll bring you both in.
This is Ashton.
And
I
we
love
are ready.
this guy.
He has already called Flaked, and he has confirmed his camera was working. It took a second to make it work. That's why I was making sure we were all ready. All right, guys. Let me, you know what I'm going to do? Ash, I'll phone you right back. I'm going to do a separate call. I'm going to add us all into one call. All right. So let's go like this.
And he's really matured and grown up. I really like the man
all
he's
right,
become.
Guys, and Aaron seems to be ready. Hang on, let me just redo this. Okay. Go add friend.
Not letting me skip like that.
Okay. Here we go. Create DM. Go. All right. Turn.
Okay.
Pop out here.
All right, we got Aaron here.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, we could sort of hear
It's about a
ourselves
5-hour stream.
There we go. You're good, boys.
All right.
There he is, Aaron.
Let me just do this real quick.
I just want us all to see on the board behind me. I think it's very important for people to know we are powerless over our addictions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very good lesson to learn.
Okay,
We are
already.
We need a power. What is it? Greater than ourselves.
All right.
To help
Well,
us
before
through
we
these
get
things.
into
Let's
everything,
start.
why
Yeah,
don't
let's-
you let them know who you are, where they can watch your show, and all that?
Yeah.
I'm.
Okay, so could we just skip ahead to the good parts now, or do we let this play from here?
Play it at the beginning just
Play
for
it
a
a
little
little
bit because I didn't expect to do this whole thing. So
Yeah,
the
I
notes are
know.
kind
We
of
thought, I
random.
really thought everybody, but of course they don't. Okay. So,
He gets off to it right away. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I mean, it's going to be worth it for this one.
Aaron Imholt, the host of the Steel Toe Morning Show, or if you dislike me, the biggest cuck on the internet.
Excuse me.
Currently. No, boys, look, I know we're going to get into a lot of stuff, and I know I'm here to be Ray Liotta and Goodfellas, but I do have to say, and PPP has said it on multiple episodes, and Andy, I know you and I have talked. I think PPP's coverage of this, Ashton's coverage has been fantastic. I've laughed my fucking balls off even when he's calling me a homosexual.
Well,
Right.
He's making
and a
jokes. He's
degenerate and everything
happy.
else.
He's in a good mood.
I was all of those things. There's no, like, everybody's criticism. Those who
Aaron.
don't like me, who go, oh, you were a degenerate, you went to this place. Yes, that's my whole point. I am guilty. I am working through this. I am working it off. I am paying it off. The problem I have is 3 other people who are involved in this will not admit their guilt and atone for what they've done wrong.
So, Aaron, can I just get you correct? You're going to admit today that you engaged in homosexual activities?
No, I did not engage in homosexual.
okay.
Nick
You know,
Rekieta-
there's one thing really interesting that I've noticed with all this. Aaron's going to spill all the beans. He's going to say it all. Stuff that would humiliate me, where I'd want to bury my body in soil. You'd never see me again. However, there are 3 things that still do embarrass Aaron. Any idea that maybe he did some gay stuff is something that's off limits for Aaron that he's not ready to talk to. The idea that he can't get it up is a big thing that he's not willing to cop to. And any talk about him having a small P is also something he's very ashamed. Everything else, no shame, no embarrassment. So keep that in mind. He still is very concerned and wants to make sure everybody knows he did nothing gay with Nick Rekieta, as if that would be bad compared to
what he's already saying. Should we
So-
smoke some shmee with this one? Or is that
Maybe
going to
we
make it
should.
too hard?
It might.
Because
Let's
this one,
play a little.
okay,
let's play
okay,
a little
okay.
bit. This is going to get us in a very good mood very quickly.
Yes,
When you
trust
hear
us.
him saying this stuff that he's about to
If
say.
you're hearing this for the first time, I'm so jealous
Yeah,
of you.
because hearing this for the first time is, we're kind of beaten to death with this already. We're kind of like ready to move on with our lives because it's been
But we just have to tell you just in case the body cam footage comes out or something.
Yeah.
This could get crazier. So
Yeah.
we just want everyone to know.
And it is, I'll tell you this, somebody needs to, and I wouldn't mind investing in a documentary about, like a real documentary, whoever wants to, not from our audience, but somebody's got to do it. This could be on HBO. This could be on Netflix. This could be anywhere. This story is so rich that I'm willing to spend some money to get this documented the right way so that everybody could see what we've seen. Okay, let's play it here. Let's see what happens.
Kata licked my face 3 times, and it was always unasked for.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ask you before we get into
Ashton, real quick. The only reason he licked my face is because I have a
He's
terrible
doing
habit
jokes.
of
Don't
leaving
listen to the
Molly on my
jokes.
cheek. That's the only reason he licked.
Is that serious? He was trying to lick Molly off her cheek or what?
Here's the thing is,
in this case, it's hard to tell what's serious and what's a joke
I have to
because
be
it's
careful
so
with you.
insane.
I have
Okay,
to be
now
careful
listen.
with you because you'll take it as serious.
No,
Yeah,
no,
so
Aaron,
listen,
but everything is so degenerate that saying that's like, yeah, that's believable.
And you just tell
It's
me
not
when
even
to
like
skip forward.
No,
exaggerated.
it really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we go into, because I kind of want you to give us like a chronological walkthrough of everything.
Oh, shit.
But before we do that, I want to ask you, what is the crying on the floor story? Can we hear the crying on the floor story?
The crying on the floor story. First of all, I should have been more specific. But the crying on the floor. Well, is that different than the fix her story?
Tell us both.
Okay. The fix her story is this. Well, now we're going to jump out of order and we're going to get way ahead in the story. But all right.
Yes.
So I don't think it's any secret. And I've received messages from people saying, how dare you reveal all this? I'm like, I'm pretty sure you guys getting arrested revealed all this. But it's no secret that, people call it swinging. I would say it was just more straight up, just switching up,
Right.
more than anything else. And I did look, whoever she is now, whoever she is when I'm not around, when I was around, I'll admit to you, boys, I did fall in love with the Kayla that was around me.
Okay, so listen to this. Right off the bat, he's going, I know some people call it swinging. We were just switching up, swapping wives. Wife swap. So he's admitting to a wife swap. So Nick is having sex with April. He's having sex with Kayla, Nick's wife. And right here, right at the beginning, he's going to say he fell in love with Nick's wife, Kayla. Listen to this. That's what's happening here. He fell in love with Rekeita Law's wife while they were swapping. So this is what's been going on for the last 6 months.
Everyone, the chat is going crazy.
Really?
Like, look at this. How many people don't know about this?
Wow.
This is insane.
Okay, listen to this. This gets crazy.
Whoever this person is, whoever she was, and Nick would tell me himself, he would go, I've never seen her like this in years. There was something about the way her and I connected. There was shit we said to each other that we probably shouldn't have. But there was I just developed a very deep connection. April was, doing the substances she was doing with Nick, and I was not okay with it. Her and I fought about it a lot. When you confront people who are on those substances, they tend to call you a lot of shit that kind of fucks with you. And I started to kind of question my own, worth and sanity and whatnot. And when Kayla hears those kind of things and she comes up and she gives you a hug and she says, I just want to let you know you're a good man. Like, you're at such a low point when you're doing all this shit that's all it takes. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to cling.
This is Aaron's first time trying out drugs. That's why you say you got to get the drug use out of the way in your 20s. Experiment with MDMA and Coke and all these euphoria drugs when you're in your 20s, because when you wait till you're in your late 30s and you're doing a wife swap, you might think you've fallen in love when you're on these drugs. So the Rekeitas are used to doing drugs. Okay, the Rekeitas have been doing this wife swapping and Molly and Coke and all the happy drugs for years and years. They understand that they could go to Jamaica, do a wife swap at the Sandals Resort, and everything's going to be fine. Everybody leaves the next day knowing that they were just there. They had a nice little party, a nice fun time. They could go home. Aaron does not. Aaron's doing MDMA for the first time. So he's feeling these feelings, and these emotions are almost too much for a man in his mid-30s. So when they're doing this wife swap, he's assuming that he's in love with Rekeita's wife. You know, Rekeita and his wife, they understand you do the swinging, you go home the next day, you stick to the ones that you came in with. You know, you have your party, you move on. Aaron didn't get that, so he fell in love with Kayla because he was not experienced enough to understand what the drugs were doing to him. A very dangerous place to be. So that could have also really led to the problems that you're about to hear. Listen to this.
To this person because they make me feel
love this.
like I'm worth a shit. And she did that. I will say this. Kayla Rekeita, for all her faults, for all this may and whatever we may talk about, I really did develop a deep affection for that woman, and that was reciprocated. It's unfortunate the way things went. But I really did see that there's something in her that wants to be done with this. There's just no, I mean, in the position, in the situation you're in, there's no opportunity to actually do it.
May I ask you one thing? So you told me, and I'm pretty sure you said this on your show too, there was something about like you guys were like soulmates, like you had conversations about being soulmates.
We were in bed one night, and when Nick would be on his streams, April would be the corner demon. Of course, I think that's pretty much figured out by now. I'm not spilling any. But April would go down there, and you know the sickest part about me and a level of degeneracy I'll cop to is I didn't want to be around my wife. I wanted to be around Kayla. So when those two went off and did their thing, it didn't bother me at all. And as a husband, that's disgusting. That's degenerate. I think as PPP said, you have to answer to men and God on shit like that. But that was just the way it was. That's the situation I was in. And I'm sorry, Andy. I'm jumping all over the place.
No, you're good.
Maybe you should show this picture of their mugshots.
Of course,
just so we can get a visual
Again,
for the
there's
people who
so
don't.
much
I know.
going on. So much going on. It's killing me. Okay, let's show you that. I was thinking that too because we didn't see a real.
Now, April looks amazing in her mugshot.
Well, you know what it is? She's not wearing her early 2000s makeup. They've washed that up. Here they are.
Did she see that and go, oh, this eyeliner was doing me so bad this whole time?
So here, a lot of people think April looks good in this photo. Well, she looks better. Not good. But yeah, they've wiped off that cruddy early 2000s Britney Spears eyeliner.
She looks at herself like this in the mirror in the morning and draws on a Sharpie line on the top and bottom. I can't get over
I know.
that.
Well, a lot of women, you know, I was just watching Natasha Leggero, who is 50 years old, by the way, comedian Natasha Leggero. She was on Dinner Time Live the other day, and she's got those dark... Girls, nobody's doing that dark eyeliner on the bottom anymore. You got to let it go, especially when you're getting wrinkles and it's looking all crusty.
And not only does April put this thick black eyeliner on the top and bottom, but she doesn't even do a wing. She draws the thick black line on the eyelid only, and you would go to do a wing. It's the natural
I think that's
motion,
the
but
least of her problems.
She stops short.
Shouldn't
of
be
the
wearing
wing.
any makeup. It should be illegal for her to try to entice another man. Okay, so here's the mugshot. Now, here's Kayla, probably looking the worst out of all three. This is the woman that Aaron fell in love with. Yummy, huh? You know, speaking of somebody who needs
Mother
a little
of five.
humidity in their life, you know, she could use some humidity in her life as well. She's looking very dry.
Yes,
I don't
she
know.
looks like that weed commercial where the girl deflates. That it's that meme.
Nick's mugshot is great. And here's April, probably scared to death. I mean, her life at this point has been destroyed. She has no job, no family, nowhere to live. And it doesn't look like, you know, her future is very bright, right? How is she going to meet a new man? You know, is the next guy she meets going to be from this universe of people who've been following this?
I've been worrying about her a lot.
Yeah, I mean, really, are we going to end up hearing that she's killed herself after all this? Well, we'll find out. So here they are. This was their mugshot, and they were busted with, I believe, 25 grams of coke/meth. They found firearms in the house with the drugs, of course, so that's a big problem. And then they found some shell casings, some used shell casings, which a lot of people got confused, thinking they were shooting off guns in the bedroom. No, when you go out shooting, you got shell casings all over your body. They're in your pockets. They're in your hair. You get home, you shake off. It's like sand at the beach. You got shell casings all over. I got shell casings everywhere. So But yes, here it is. Fifth degree, schedule 1, 2, 3, 4. My old password. There's my PIN number there. Exposing my PIN number. So there they are. And so April was let go after about a day. And did they release her charges?
That's what she said.
So
I guess.
here's what's so interesting. When they all three got busted, the Rekeitas, their story to the cops was that April was just the nanny and that she had nothing to do with the drugs. So that's what they told the police. Oh, this is just the nanny. She has nothing to do with it. She was just here taking care of the kids. She knows nothing about the drugs. So the police let her go. But Aaron, on his podcast media tour, told a story that's much different. So the police, from what I've been hearing, the rumors are that the police are now investigating Aaron and April because Aaron has spilled the beans on a level where he didn't have to say any of the stuff that he's about to say. So he's probably fucked Nick's case because everything that Aaron said is probably contradictory to what Nick told the arresting officers.
Imagine you're in jail trying to figure out how to get out of this mess.
And
Aaron's on every podcast.
And he's loving it. And he's telling every personal story from the last 6 months of your life. Like, imagine that. Not only could Aaron end up fucking these people legally, but these people might be mad enough to want to, I don't know, kill Aaron when they get out.
That's why I feel like everybody has to know about this, even if you don't care.
Yes, because this story ain't over.
Gonna do something. I mean, if I was him, I would be killing
Rekeita Law has
Aaron.
got to do something. Yeah, I mean, and you can see he looks like he wants to murder Aaron in this picture. You know, I think they probably think that Aaron was involved in getting them busted. And again, everything that Aaron's testimony that you're about to hear could land them in jail for a very long time, including his ex-wife, who was almost off the hook.
And he's on there saying that he loves this woman.
That he
it's
loves
like, why
this
are you doing
woman.
this to her then? But why are you doing
He
this?
fell in love with, so imagine the MDMA, the pureness of the MDMA that he must have been on to fall in love with this. You're going to hear stories about how they all shared the same bed for months. The two girls in the middle, the two guys on the outside, they all shared the same bed. They lived all together in a house with 5 kids. So the Rekeitas have 5 kids living in the same house. It's not like they live with another ex. They're all there. Kids ranging from, 1 year to 16 years old. 5 kids in the Rekeitas household, while Aaron and the Rekeitas in April are all sharing a bed every night. The kids are knocking on the door. Hey, guys, everything. Wait till you hear these stories. We're calling them what do we call them? The Imholt 8, because you got 5 kids on their side, 3 kids on Aaron's side. The Imholt 8. What do they call Tim Heidecker?
The Electric Sun
The
20.
Electric Sun 20. This is the Imholt 8. The real victims here, the kids that I have to go out and save now. Think about these 8 kids going through this, and Aaron doesn't seem to, you'll see there's no care in the world for the kids. There's a 16-year-old kid attached to this. That's pretty old. Imagine this happening. Your dad is involved in a sex swapping drug thing. You're 16. You got to go to school with that. Aaron's kids, Aaron's family, everybody knows, by the way. Everybody in this universe has sent detailed reports to every one of Aaron's neighbors, the principal of Aaron's kid's school, Aaron's ex-wife, Aaron's entire family. This is not affecting Aaron at all. Okay, we got to get back to this because Aaron's going to tell the story. It's a remarkable tale. One of the more fascinating tales I've ever heard. And again, I don't think you really even need to know much about this guy to know that this is wild. Watch this.
No, it's very enlightening, everything you're saying. It's fantastic. I mean, it's awesome. You're doing great.
Awesome.
Yeah, Andy, you said the soulmate thing. That's
The soulmate thing. Yeah, but no, it's fine.
We were in
It's
bed. We were in bed
unfolding
one
the
night.
story. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We were in bed one night. We were lying together, and she whispered to me, she goes, I think you're my soulmate. And the way we were at the time, I said, I agree. I feel that too. There was just such a deep connection there. It's a connection we definitely got chastised for by the other two parties.
How did they find out about that?
Not necessarily
And
that.
Aaron
It's
is
just the
falling
closeness.
for all of
We would
this.
get crit-
They
Oh, yeah.
witnessed you guys.
Like
Yeah, so
every
Aaron
single
thinks these guys are on his side. Maybe they are, but doubtful. What was the other thing you were going to say?
the questions that they're acting like they're in high school, being like, "So, buddy, maybe
Yeah.
you should tell us about what happened on your date last
and
night."
they're cheering him
Yeah,
on
that's
for
really
all this
cool.
stuff, and he's falling
and he has
for it all.
no idea that they're just prying him for all of the information. that they
Especially
can
this guy who
possibly
is
get.
my new hero. I would love to go to lunch with this guy if he's open to it.
And
I would love to speak. I love this guy.
adorable.
I might hire him as my new web developer. I don't know.
And he's soaking it all. Like there's clips of him, like there's a million clips we could show, but there's clips of him being like people calling into Aaron's show. I forget, like I think it was Jesse calling in and being like, "How much money did you make this past week?" And then Aaron's like, "I made a shitload, man." And the way that everybody's talking to him, and he just buys it all.
He's on top of the world currently, and I tuned in this morning, he's still on top of the world. This is the best thing that could have ever happened to him in his eyes. Okay, let's get to some of the sick stuff before we interrupt. Once you hear it, then you'll understand why we're here. Let's get to that. Let's get that over with.
This guy's kind of like Cameron, they're saying. That's why you
what I just
love
said.
him.
Yes, that's why I love him. I think he reminds me of my dear friend Cameron. Yeah.
One thing, Kayla was sleeping once, and April and Nick, we were in the bathroom where the safe and everything were discovered. We were in there, and I was sitting on a chair. I'm not going to say they sat me down, but I'm sitting on a chair, and the two of them are close to me, and they're going, "Do you understand that when you and Kayla talk to each other, nobody else can get a word in, and you don't even hear other people? It's like you're closed off in your own."
So April and Nick, okay, the other half of the swap, are now getting upset that Aaron is falling in love with Rekeita's wife, Kayla. So I'm so sorry, there's a lot of A's here. April and Nick are almost forming an alliance against Aaron. Maybe the whole family is forming an alliance against Aaron because Aaron's the only one taking this too far, okay? Everybody knows the rules of a threesome. We've all watched Entourage. You can't fall in love with the third party, right? Or the party that's not your wife or girlfriend. You can't fall in love with them. You can't give them more attention. We've all heard the rules of a threesome. Aaron's oblivious to this. So now April and Nick are kind of getting upset with Aaron that he's falling in love with one of the swap moms, which they are swap moms. They're all moms. And this, the woman he's falling in love with, by the way, is that woman we just showed with the fried body. 5 kids came out of her. 5 whole kids came out of her. He's in love with that. A cracked out junkie who's had 5 kids. I mean, it's rather disgusting, right? Okay. Here.
Little world.
Listen.
And I'm sitting there going, well, based on what we're doing, guys, isn't that kind of the fucking idea? And they're like, well, Nick and I don't do that. I'm like, that's your fucking problem, not mine. Like, I'm talking to this person. I'm connecting with this person. I'd like to talk and speak to this person. I don't know what to tell you. There were always these weird rules. Like, you play pickup basketball or pickup football, and some kid always wants to change the rules in the middle of a game. Like, now you gotta have 2 feet in bounds instead of 1.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt. Like, if Kayla and I got too far a front or forward, affection-wise or feeling-wise, then the other 2 had to slam on the brakes. And that included shitting on the other one to me or shitting on me to her or Nick would always, the thing that actually led me to ultimately leave one night, it was a Thursday night, 7 weeks ago. Nick started questioning me about where Kayla put her prescription pills one night. Nick, we were sitting up in the bed watching a movie, and Kayla,
all 4 of them
Kayla was there
in bed,
and she went to grab her sleeping pills, and she set them down on my leg. This was a couple nights before Nick confronted me about this. Well, I guess Nick got a hold of Kayla's phone and started reading her messages. And there were really affectionate, heavy messages from Kayla and I. And he didn't like that. And he starts texting me. And he starts going, where did Kayla put those pills the other night?
Even this Nick Rekieta and his wife in April haven't given anyone permission to tell these stories. You know what I mean? And these stories don't need to be told to tell the story about why they're all together being arrested for drugs. You could have just said, we were friends, we did drugs with them a couple of times. Uh-oh, I guess somebody called the police and they got busted. You never had to tell anyone that you were doing a swap. You never had to tell anyone that you fell in love with the guy's wife and that Nick was fucking your wife and all the dirty details of that. You never had to say any of that. So imagine being Nick Rekieta and his wife in jail, and this guy is telling the whole internet, telling every enemy that you've ever had, telling everybody you ever known the ins and outs of your sexual swap and drug use involving your children, your personal DMs. I mean, literally everything you could think of. Imagine being them. Imagine the rage that would build up within you as you're coming off cocaine in the holding cell, getting texts from everybody that Aaron is doing this. Imagine what kind of a monster that might create. I don't know how Aaron's not scared.
Cannot wait. Does any of these super internety guys?
Yeah, do you guys know when
do you guys
Rekieta?
know when Rekieta is going to be free?
Yeah. Well, we'll show you, and we've got some theories on what he's going to do coming up. But let's play some of these sex stories first. Okay, should I just keep playing it from here?
Yeah.
Okay, here.
What do you mean?
You're gonna love this.
It's all.
Josie, she put them on your dick?
I know. We'll just play the big ones.
I'm like, what? When she set them down on the bed, did she set them where your dick? I'm like, no, I think she set them on my knee. I'm not sure. Like, I didn't know because I don't remember that shit because that's psychotic.
Pills loose? Was it the pills
No.
loose?
No. She has them in the
case. Okay. In the case.
Like
All right.
people who have to take medication do. And by the way, before anyone even asks, I only saw her, other than like cocaine and stuff, I only saw her take medication that was prescribed to her. I will say that.
Other than cocaine and stuff.
But he would start questioning me, and if I didn't know the answer to these things that happened a couple days ago, he'd start.
So basically, he's describing a story where Nick starts becoming furious with Aaron for falling in love with his wife, and Aaron's trying to paint this as, isn't Nick crazy? Isn't Nick nuts? See, Nick's nuts. Basically, what Aaron has been trying to do, from my point of view, he's been trying to bury Nick, bury April, and get his side of the story out there until these guys have nothing left, so that by the time they come out to speak, everybody is already tainted with Aaron's version of the story. I think Aaron's got a lot to worry about as far as what their side of the tale is going to entail.
And of course,
right?
We knew Nick's out on bail. They reminded me. But
Yeah.
he has just been posting on his locals.
Yeah, Nick's out on bail, $50K.
In the chat,
Proud
they
of
say
him for
Nick
that.
was posting on his locals that he's getting a new studio set up and will be streaming again soon.
So, yeah, as much of this as you've heard, we're only in the second half of it. We've got Nick's whole story that's going to come out very soon. It could be the complete opposite of what Aaron's been saying. We'll see. But I could only imagine that this Nick is pretty furious at what Aaron's been saying.
And a lot of people are really into arguing about, are you standing up for Nick? Are you standing up for Aaron? You Nick this, Nick. And these
About
guys
me?
all no, I'm just saying
okay.
in
Yeah,
this
in the universe.
community,
Yeah.
We're not sticking up for nobody. This is just a fun for us.
Oh,
to
of
enjoy
course.
this
We don't even
story.
know. We don't even know. And by the way, I've said this. Anytime the fools fight, it's like it's in our DNA to want to pick a side. Even back in the day, Kumia fighting Gino. We hate them both. You don't have to pick a side. They're both still fools, and it's okay to just laugh at everybody. You don't have to pick a side here.
And like the way that these, like, I love Ethan Ralph, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But the way that those type of guys act is they're like, oh, you said that you're like, there'll be a girl being like, Aaron is guilty of this stuff also. And then they'll be like, oh, you're sticking up for Nick because you're friends with Nick. And then they get in an argument.
So,
about,
there's a whole side of the internet who
not
is
involved.
Nick fans. There's a whole side of the internet who hates Nick. So people want to, they always do this. They always want to figure out, what side should I support? Don't support anyone's side here. I mean, these are all psychopaths. And just wait till you hear this stuff. Let's get some of these out. I don't want to keep interrupting this. We'll be here all day. I want to get through this shit.
Fucking freaking out on me. Like,
So
you're
just telling me the good
liar.
parts
Why don't
to
you
go.
just stop fucking lying? And I'm just like, dude, I just don't know where your wife put her pill. I don't pay attention to this shit. Did you fuck her 2 days ago when you were watching that movie? Did you have sex that? I'm like, Sunday, Monday, I think maybe but then I would realize I was thinking to myself,
you fucked her, right?
Why do you think he was so threatened by you fucking his wife? Like, shouldn't he have been chill with it?
Those two are extremely codependent. And even though they're into, I think they were kind of bored with each other. And that's where April and I came along. And
was it accepted to have sex with her and vice versa? Like, was this like already okay, guys, I get to fuck her, so you can get to fuck her.
Let me take responsibility for something else.
Sure.
While April and I were on vacation in Las Vegas to watch the Vikings games and hang out with some friends.
Okay.
I did bring it up to her that I thought Kayla was very attractive. And my part of the degeneracy, my part of the weakness was it might be interesting to try this because we knew their reputation. Can you
walk me through like the decision process to opening your marriage?
Thank you.
The Wednesday night before we left for Las Vegas, we went out to dinner with the Rekeitas. Now, we met them in October at the comedy show. That unfortunately, Chrissy Mayer's father was murdered, and she had to pull out of the show.
Unfortunately, Chrissy Mayer's father was murdered that weekend, which is also true. This is what I mean. Trying to keep up with the fools now, especially since they're all podcasting 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nearly impossible to keep up with all this. Yes, Chrissy Marr, the Christmas presents stealing woman from Compound Media, her dad was mysteriously murdered.
So
this is the group of people. This is their universe. Oh, my dad was murdered last week. Ha ha ha. Let's go hang out. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I heard about
that. Yeah. It was really sad.
Brutal, yeah.
Chrissy, a good friend of mine. Great.
Oh, she's
person.
great. Yeah, I love her.
She's wonderful.
So that was the one. Sorry to. It was the one where Nick performed that as well. You brought him in for that show. Yeah. Okay. I remember that. Okay. And he told anyone if we covered that show, he would flag it and shit. But yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. So it was October.
I don't give a fuck. I think people who troll me recorded it and played it on their shows. Who fucking
cares? Yeah. I know. But okay. Cool. Timeline. Perfect.
So we hung out. We drank afterwards. It was fun. It was a good time. April and Kayla got along great. Nick was on Molly. He and I got along as well as we could. He was cool enough. Then we hung out the next day before they left town. We watched a movie in the morning. And then April would go to their land to hunt. April is a deer hunter. I would go sometimes. November's a little cold for me. I'm kind of...
April is a deer hunter. Okay? She would go to their land to hunt. That's nuts too, right? Isn't that a nuts part of this?
Aren't you scared she's going to come hunt you?
That's what I'm thinking. You know, April's a trained gunman. She could take down an elk, a deer. What the fuck? This could end with April and one of her rifles. Okay, let's hear some more.
I mean, the amount of humiliation that April has gone through this week is almost pure torture level.
I can't imagine. I just can't imagine.
This is the most humiliated anyone has ever been.
And she didn't need to be. She could have the humiliation could have stopped at she was arrested for drugs. That's humiliating. The humiliation could have stopped with we're getting a divorce because of Mountain trolling us. But no. He needs to release all this info. We got to get to these stories. Let's keep.
I would stop hunting around then. She would go to their land to hunt. I've thought about this as time goes on, as I've been away from it. I don't know if they introduced her to anything in that time period or not. I have no idea, but I have my suspicions now. But we went out to eat early December, probably like December 4th, I would think. And we went back to our place. And we all sat and watched a movie. I think it was Inglourious Bastards, actually.
So random. It's just
Django Unchained.
You're all Molly?
It wasn't Django.
It was a Terranator.
And they're so excited that he's spelling this, that they're getting this exclusive after the big arrest.
I mean, look at this fucking Santa
how
up
happy.
here. He's so cute.
I mean, I don't think these guys have had smiles like this in years. I mean, these guys are so happy that they're getting this exclusive. I mean, this was seen by like 100,000 people.
I don't know. I feel like every time I see Worski, he's kind of
Oh, good.
smiling. Like
I'm glad. I'm
that.
so glad that he's doing well and happy.
Me too.
Okay, let's hear this story. This is where it gets good.
Tarantino.
You're all high on Molly? Like, let's watch some Tarantino.
And that's where it begins.
no one there? Okay,
No
okay.
high on Molly. We went to dinner. We went to dinner. This was in December. We're watching a Tarantino flick.
Okay.
And Nick pulls out the little container that they call a bullet of cocaine. I learned so many cocaine terms, boys.
Let's
in
go.
The last 6 months. It's wonderful. I know about drugs.
Yeah, a bullet, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like shaped as a bullet.
Hey, I'm
right?
37 years old and I have 3 children and I did Molly for the first time. What a fucking cool guy I am.
Go, buddy. Let's go, buddy.
This is all going
Bro.
in capsule.
Cocksucker if they're
Yeah,
ever
so-
No,
You want
buddy,
to tell people
listen.
what a bullet is? I know what it is, but you go ahead.
Go ahead. You let us know.
Yeah.
So we're watching the Tarantino
No,
film.
just tell people what a bullet is, because there's not
A little container of cocaine. Like you just
easy
put cocaine in
access.
it,
You pull it out of
and
your
can just
pocket, you go
screw
like
the
that,
top
and
then
bang. Yeah.
Give yourself a little
A
something.
bump. Yeah, fast bump. Yeah.
Worski knows. I'm a fucking choir boy compared to you, buddy. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm from the Midwest. I drink
That's
beer.
why I
from
don't
all-
judge.
I
I
don't fucking
can't
know.
judge. Alright.
I drink beer and watch Timberwolves playoff games. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Let's fucking go.
So we're watching it. Pete, shut the fuck up, Ashton. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're watching the Tarantino movie, and Kayla and April start making out. Fun, cool.
Right.
I said here's something that's got me
I
thinking.
can see it beginning that
Yeah.
way, right? Like your
Yeah.
wives start making out, and it's like it's cool, right? Because it's like lesbian action. It's hot,
Yeah.
Wonderful.
and that's what opens the door to it, right?
Yeah.
Boob
And I
touching and rubbing.
And I want to say, I respect I appreciate your respect as a man while I'm talking about that, to have both your hands above the screen. I do appreciate it.
Well,
Ashley.
People are
Exactly.
jacking
You gotta-
to this too.
So
There
fire
are
me
people
up
out there who
special.
jack to the story.
God-
I know
Godly
you said
man.
no interrupting, but
So
Very.
Hold on.
we're
like you were saying at the beginning about how he doesn't want anyone saying he's gay. He
Yeah.
doesn't want anyone saying that he has a small dick or can't perform or whatever. He has no problem with this stuff because to him, this is what the coolest guy on
This is
earth
he's a
is
man
doing.
finally. He's 2 chicks are making out. There's 5 kids.
He thinks that this
In the other
everyone's
room.
like kind of getting a little jealous hearing this
Yeah,
story.
so this is where this is really where it goes wrong, because he almost wants to brag about this swap. To him, this is like a conquest that everybody wishes they were involved in. That they could get their wives to hook up in this manner. So he thinks this is really cool, which leads him to blab, blab, blab. And we're getting into that now.
they're making out. And here's what's got me thinking that I don't know if something happened before this while they were, while April was out there hunting or not. I don't think so, timeline-wise, but who knows? Nick goes to run his hands up April's thigh. And I go, whoa, 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 whoa,
We've seen this in
whoa.
those clips, those
And
videos.
he pulls his hand back real fast. Like, I'm sorry, I'm on Molly. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm like, all right, just fucking making sure. So I start doing things to my wife while her and Kayla are making out. Nick starts doing things to his wife while they're making out. And then we break. They go in, Kayla and Nick go in one room. April and I are in the other. April and I
So just
both-
to let you know, this guy is usually pretty tan. But after hearing this story, the cum is filling his veins. And near the end of this, he does pop. Yeah, he does pop, and it's just a splatter of white cum. Yeah, so he's... I don't know. This is my first time meeting Ashton. I actually find him quite likable. Again, the lunch. I'd love to do a lunch.
both do a little bit of coke. Nick pours a little bit of coke out. April does some, I'm assuming for the first time ever, which she looked at me. She goes, is this okay? I said, I'd had one bump at a wedding when I was like 30 at that time. And I'm like, it's up to you. You're your own person. You can do what you want. Right. And then I did one bump and I'm like, God, I forgot. I really don't like this. It doesn't feel good when it goes. I just don't like shit up my nose. So we do that. April and I have sex. I'm assuming the two of them had sex. And when it's all done, I remember Nick was downstairs. April went downstairs. They're in the kitchen. Kayla comes into my room comes around the bed, stands by me, and starts showing me like pictures of her family and telling me stuff about her family. Like, here's this person, here's that person, so on and so forth. And I'm like, I'm just kind of like, just because of everything that went on, I'm like, does she like me? Like, we're both married. Is this like a thing? I don't really get
felt
what
flirtatious
So
energy.
I felt the flirtation, and obviously I thought she was an attractive woman. I'm not sitting here going, oh, this weird bitch is fucking talk. I was like, oh, it's all right. Okay.
So she was coming on to you right away.
I don't know. I'm terrible at
That's
reading.
the sense. That's
Almost like a flirtation, like the energy was there.
You were
not
being
the
flirtatious.
words, but
Right,
like you're near her, sort of like arms touching. Oh, look at this! Yeah,
We both just had sex. She's leaning over me. Yeah, it's sexual energy.
Exactly. Okay.
So then April and I leave for Las Vegas the next day, and I am a little weirded out by what happened the day before, and I'm uncomfortable around my wife. But she's talking about this experience like, oh, that's kind of exciting, right? That was kind of fun. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what to make of it. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I'm more in the realm of like, what the fuck just happened? So then we get a day to think about it. Friday morning, we're in Las Vegas, and I go, she's getting ready in the bathroom. I go get her. I go, I want to talk to you real quick. And I was thinking about Kayla standing next to me, and I can't remember if she was naked or not, but I think she may have been topless. I can't remember.
And
I just
remember
remember
if she was naked or not.
Dude, when we get to all the stories,
I love
there's a
this
lot
guy.
of shit that's just gonna.
You can't remember if a girl was naked? Maybe for him, right? That's blowing his fucking mind. I thought that was very cute. I'm not making fun of you, by the way. I find that to be very cute. You know, this is a crazy story for a guy like this. I hope I'm not speaking out of line there and putting you down. Okay.
Okay.
It's just too much.
Right.
Like, he's not
fuck-
sure if it was that time or the next time. You know, like
my RAM is overloaded. I can't
Tell me
process shit
about it.
right. I really can't. Like, shit happens to me now.
And you were
I'm like,
fucked up too, right? Like you're on drugs, drinking, all that stuff.
Sure.
Yeah,
We get
makes
it.
sense.
So, I talked to my wife, and we just had a talk about what happened that night, 2 nights ago, and we talk about what we'd like to do. And I'm like, we know their reputation, and I went, I think I'd like to try this. Like,
Reputation.
again,
Could you
the
can you
degenerate here
clarify?
that started this was me. I asked the question first.
Was it the hedonism stories? Like, was that what the reputation you're talking about?
I didn't know about the hedonism stories. I just knew in general the Rekeitas had swinger stories around them.
Okay.
Okay. Like, is this a known thing in Minnesota?
You know, and I believe these guys are kind of like enemies with Nick. You know, so they're loving this scoop. You know, this would be like if we were talking about, Josh Denny, and then somebody came on our show and delivered us all these Denny and Netta secrets that we've all been, gossiping about for the last 5 years. So he's hand delivering Nick's enemies every piece of dirt on Nick that they could ever imagine and more. So again, imagine how angry this Nick must be boiling.
Like, locally, are they known for swinging, or are you going based off of like
Internet lore.
The Kiwi Farms?
Okay.
lore or whatever? Okay.
Internet lore.
Okay. So
Food
you weren't
trucks.
surprised that.
Right.
Okay. Can you answer this for us just before we go any further on this?
man.
Do you know if Drexel has had sex
I
with
don't know who
Kayla?
that is.
I can tell you. I'll tell you that Kayla
Here, go
has
to
told
13500. This we could literally just sit.
I know,
They
that's
never
the
changed
problem.
the subject, so we could watch this for 3 hours.
Okay, let's go. What's this one going to be about here?
Or go to like 13430 because I didn't double check these, but this is about them sleeping in the same bed,
Yeah,
which is
this
one
is
of
a
my
good one
favorite
here.
parts.
And yeah, everyone could go watch this. This is this Kino Casino show. I believe they put this on YouTube
Yeah,
too.
if you search
This one's worth watching. If you want like the whole scoop and the whole story, go watch this on your own time. You're going to love it. I believe it's on YouTube.
I can tell you what I saw from time to time. Again, everything I'm telling you, I don't want to get into speculation. Everything I'm going to tell
Whatever
you,
you
guys,
saw, whatever
is
It's
you
I saw
firsthand,
and I
yeah.
experienced.
Amazing. Thanks.
While I too, again, let's remember, while I too was being a degenerate, going outside of his marriage, scandalizing his relationship, scandalizing his children, all of these terrible things, being a bad father, being a bad husband. But a day in the life was this. I would get up. I'm an early riser. I do a morning show. I would get up
Yeah.
on a weekend, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. and I would just sit and stare at 3 passed out people.
Oh,
That's it.
I would just go, all right.
Cool.
What are you going to do? I'd go take a shower or something. I mean, kill some time. And then I kind of wake everybody up and like, hey, can I go get breakfast? I remember one common thing with this relationship was that I was the one who was always going, hey, can we go do some shit? Hey, can I go get this? Can I go to... I was
You
restless.
fed the kids, right? You
I
fed
wanted
them
to get out of the fucking house and do some shit.
Wait. Where were the kids during all this, by the way?
They would wake up later, but they would still come and knock on the bedroom door.
Whoa.
By the way, we slept 4 of us to a bed.
What the?
Like
We slept 4 of us to a bed. I mean, guys, I gotta have a drink.
I'm,
Let's,
like,
we gotta
sweating.
celebrate
I
that.
know,
I'm sorry. This is so insane. We slept 4 to a bed. The kids would knock on the door. Hey guys, we're hungry. And Aaron would come out and feed Rekeita's kids while the rest of them slept off their, what Aaron's trying to say, and we're going to have to wait till Nick comes out and speaks. Aaron's trying to pretend like he barely did the drugs, that he was the only sober person. Maybe he was. I mean, he was able to do Steel Toe Morning Show every morning. I certainly wouldn't be able to do that if I was coming off coke. So maybe he wasn't doing as much drugs as the rest of them, but I think he wants to make it seem like I wasn't endangering any of those kids. I'm still a good father. I also have a theory that he kind of wants his kids. Aaron's got 3 kids. I think he wants his wife to get full custody so he could stop paying the $800 a month child support so he doesn't have to see them.
He just doesn't want to see them.
He might be telling all these stories so that he could get out of raising his own kids.
What kind of mother would his ex-wife be if she heard this?
She has heard this. And apparently she's so happy that Aaron's being honest, which I still think could be a setup with the investigator, the police and Aaron's ex-wife. They could all be trying to set up Aaron to get as much juice out of him as possible. He's been talking to the cops. He's told them everything. The cops have watched all these broadcasts. Crazy, huh? Let's drink to the 4 in a bed. How about 4 in a bed? 4 in a bed and the kids knocking on the door. I keep thinking, and I haven't heard anyone cover this part. What does the 16-year-old think of this? For months, your parents were sleeping with another couple in your home? For months, Aaron was coming out of your... I just don't understand how that happens.
His friends and people at his school are going to find out about this, aren't they? Like, imagine you're 16 and you are coming home from fucking Glee Club or whatever.
They know about it. Everybody sent this to their school, to them. Everybody knows about it. I just don't understand how that's not destroying them. I guess when you're from white trash Minnesota, and that's why I say after watching all this, I'm watching a lot of people, you worry, are people losing their humanity hearing these stories being so normalized and watching this crew of, rather disgusting people tell these stories as if they're normal. As if it's normal to do any of this. Listen, if you have 3 kids, you shouldn't even be broadcasting that much, for real. Like, you should be raising those kids. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Let's drink to the 4 in a bed. I'd like to do a shot for the 4 in a bed, and let's hear some more of this. Cheers, everybody. To the M. Holtz.
All slept in the same bed.
Yeah,
I would sleep with Kayla. Nick would sleep with April.
Listen to this.
Okay, so that was the sleeping
That
arrangement.
was the sleeping arrangement. Was April and I on the ends, Nick over by April, Kayla over by me. So
I love that part.
Sometimes in the morning, the kids would knock on the door and say either I'm hungry or this or that.
If anybody has ever done this, I certainly have, and I find this to be absolutely disgusting. But if anyone's ever done this, okay, I could understand a swap at a party. People have been doing drugs. You do a quick swap at a party.
I
can't understand that. Of course.
So.
But to do this, to live, I don't think this was ever intended for 4 people day in and day out for months to live in the same house.
Swapping.
To be in the same bed with your fluid. Imagine waking up and Aaron Emholt is in your bed. The guy's like 6'6", his legs sticking out of your bed. You're waking up, you're seeing Aaron's bare feet in the morning. They're claiming, by the way, and this is where I think Aaron's really afraid of being called gay in all of this. Okay, that's like his biggest fear. He's claiming they never saw each other naked, the two guys. It's
How?
like, but you had sex with each other every night in the same bed.
Well, the kids are not
I'm gonna go as far as to think.
hungry.
I bet you sucked Rekeita's dick.
I mean,
I bet, you know, and I'm just basing this all on daughter swap videos that I've seen. So how the daughter swap series goes, is that what it's called? Daughter swap. They have MILF swap and cis swap now. The whole family, everybody's swapping. In daughter swap, it starts out with the two stepdads, of course. Make sure you say step. Two stepdads and the two stepdaughters. They swap the stepdaughters. But what daughter swap has evolved to now is nearing the end of the video, the dads and their original daughters start screwing around and accidentally touching each other and stuff. So I could only imagine. I know that's a lot for you to take in. I could only imagine that throughout these, you know, sexual experience with all four in a bed, there were times where Aaron's head is like right on Nick's, you know, and they're getting close, and maybe Nick's, I don't want to say these words, Nick's dick maybe pops out of the vagina of April and accidentally into Aaron's mouth, maybe something like that. That's what I've seen in these videos that I've quickly, of course, turned off because I was fooled into watching them.
you thought it was just daughters.
I just thought this was a simple daughter swap. I didn't know that the original dads and the daughters would end up fooling around and then they just all mix. I believe that's what happened in this situation. We'll have to wait till Nick's story. I believe that maybe...
Well, he's not going to tell that either.
Well, we'll see. I believe that Aaron maybe ate out Nick's ass. Anything could happen. 4 to a bed, 6 months.
Molly.
They're on Molly. Anything could happen. That's the part where Aaron pretends that it didn't happen. But
this is kind of an aside, but remember before this all happened, everyone was like, April's on drugs, April's blah, blah, blah. And he yelled at everybody.
Told us we were all lying.
And he lied good.
So that's the thing.
Now we all know what it looks like when he lies, which is the same as always.
Yeah, he lied for months. You know, people accused April of being on drugs. He said, how dare you accuse my wife of being on drugs? That's where I draw the line. And you did that for months. Hopefully your fans, I mean, the guy probably has a couple hundred of these Minnesota dimwit fans. Hopefully they're seeing how comfortable you were lying for so many months. You know, to tell a story admitting about how you lied to everybody for 6 months, that doesn't make you an honorable guy now. You know, it's like when Todd Glass came out of the closet. Todd Glass, the comedian, he came out of the closet after 50 years, of pretending to be straight, after 50 years of writing jokes about girlfriends. Todd Glass comes out of the closet at age 50 and everyone's applauding. And it's like, what about the 50 years where you lied about being gay and you were so embarrassed by the idea? Doesn't that don't you owe the gay community a huge apology? So it's like the same type of thing. It's like, Aaron wants to be applauded for being such an honest guy. That's not really how this works. You're still ultra disgusting.
And you're still capable of lying about anything.
Yeah, you'll lie about anything.
If it serves you in the moment.
So every time we called you a liar, you said we were crazy. So I hope at least his original fans, which they're still donating, so maybe it didn't, but you know, to be able to trust this guy, you can never trust this guy. Okay, let's hear some more of these sex stories. And again, don't get horny from this. Do not get horny from this.
I would
Don't
say
give them your
more
juice.
times than not, I would go out and I would get them some food, something like that, because everyone else got up a little later than I did. Then there would be times where there would be fighting in the bedroom, or, you know, people were doing whatever they were doing in the bathroom, and someone would want something, and I would, more often than not, it was usually me who went and got it. I was just not into, like I said on my show, I did coke 3, maybe 4 times in total the entire time. Probably
Really?
4 lines, 4 bumps
that's
in
the
total.
part I find unbelievable. It's like, so these guys were on drugs to the point where their faces changed into cracked out junkies that you see in these ads. You guys were having sex every night for 6 months and you only did the coke 3 or 4 times? It's just really weird. How could you be that sober around 3 junkies like that for so many months? How could you have sex with his wife hundreds of times, which he goes on to admit? How do you do that when you've only done drugs 3 times?
Wait, so that means that she was all cracked out on coke and meth and Molly or whatever, and you were fucking her sober? That's worse.
That's really weird. That's like when Kurt Cobain fucked a retard, which could have gotten him canceled had he not killed himself. You know, to be having sex with this coked out, strung out woman for 6 months. And he goes on to say, we had sex over 100 times. But you've only done the coke 3 times? I mean, either way, you cut it. You're either lying or you're disgusting, right? All right, let's hear more of this. Gets worse.
Okay. The whole time I was there, I did develop an affinity for Molly. It just seemed I wouldn't drink.
Pills
and I would
or powder?
I hate powder. I hate it. One time they had
I'll go for, I don't even think a husband and wife should be having sex if you've had 5 kids in the house. Or if you've had 5 kids. Sex is over. You wanted these 5 kids. It's time to dedicate your life to the 5 lives that are going to be out there ruining mine when they grow up. You know, this is no time for you anymore. I even think if you have 1 kid, you shouldn't be doing what Chris DiStefano's doing. If you've got 1 kid, it's time to knock off the antics and raise the kid. Teach the kid how to be a great member of society. But nobody's raising these kids anymore. You know, and imagine what's going to happen when the abortions all stop. 3 kids, 5 kids, 8 kids' lives. And this is their parents. And everything is online, archived. Everything is in these time capsules for their kids to remember their entire lives. What kind of, I mean, really, that makes me physically sick.
And I don't know.
The kids might as well kill themselves at this point. They got nothing to live for. You think Lana Rhodes' kid has it bad? I mean, think about this.
And Aaron is being all high and mighty, coming on here being like, I just knew I had to leave to save the kids, and I'm the one who's feeding the kids. And it's like you're destroying their future with this right now.
Yeah, you just...
I mean, this is never going away.
They're going to be traumatized for life. And the trauma that you've committed, not only for these other 3, your ex-wife and all these people, what about the trauma that you're putting on yourself? You know, this public display of humiliation that you're on tour with. Isn't this damaging to your mind? Isn't this damaging to your soul? Isn't this going to be trauma for the rest of your life? And Aaron's just walking around on top of the world. By the way, he's had no time to even think about this himself. He's been on the air every day since this happened.
She got arrested.
Every day. I mean, he's been on the air for about 8 hours a day since she's been arrested. I don't know how he's sleeping. I mean, you could just go to bed and get your 8 hours after this. That to me is the craziest part. I mean, really, I can't comprehend. All right, let's hear some more.
Do the licking thing.
The licking thing, yeah.
Like,
you wanted more control.
I had Nick use
and you just let me know
wrap
where to
it
move.
in like pill form, and I would
take
it that way. I preferred it that way. And what I would do is I just wouldn't drink that night. I'd pound water and Gatorade, and I would chill because everything was so dramatic and everything else. I would have fun. I would enjoy myself.
You'd have fun.
But I'd still realize, holy shit, dude, you're 37 years old and you're a father of 3. Cut the fucking shit. So after about half a dozen times of that, done with that too.
So let me ask you, what was the general sense, do you think, of how aware the kids were that their parents were on drugs all the time?
Thank you, Ashley.
I don't think they knew. I don't think they knew.
Really?
I don't.
You didn't notice your mother and father's face decaying into old pumpkins? The 16-year-old didn't know that his dad, who was sharing a bed with another couple, they didn't know they were on drug? I mean, you must have been up all night. I can't imagine. You know, he's trying to pretend like these kids weren't real. These kids might have been involved in the fucking sex for all. The 16-year-old might have been doing stuff with the whole family. That's what they're showing on Pornhub.
You know what I'm learning from this experience? Anything that you can imagine or can't imagine could be real.
Could be real. Could be reality. Absolutely right.
So any thought that crosses your mind about this, they probably
all
did.
5 kids could have been doing a dance in a circle around them and chanting. This could have been like a college fuckfest style situation. They need to bring College Fuckfest back. Am I right? What happened to that series?
Maybe you and Doug Stanhope can collab.
The college kids, I don't know what happened. When I was years ago, every day you'd turn on the Pornhub, it'd be the college kids all having sex with each other in the dorm. Dear dorm rules, college fuck. That all went away. I don't know if they're too embarrassed now since these videos could be spread on social media. Maybe that spooked all of them. But for all the college kids to have stopped, I don't know.
They're doing their fuckfests on OnlyFans now, probably.
If anyone has any leads for that, just for me to check it out, let me know. It's just surprising but yes, these kids could have been involved in all of it. I mean, you're telling me the kids didn't know you guys were on drugs? You didn't know about the swapping? Oh, they know.
How about the sense of two people? There's a new couple in the bedroom sleeping with them. Like no one, even the high school kid wasn't like, what the fuck is going on there?
That I can definitely, I would say if I'm just putting myself in their shoes, they're thinking, that's fucking goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a little bizarre.
How old was the oldest one? How old was the oldest one?
Am I telling any tales out of school here if I...
Ooh, see, he's worried about those kids.
It's known the oldest kid was 16, right?
Because I think he could still be charged with endangering someone else's kids, right?
I don't know how that works, but
maybe.
I hope so.
If I were this Minnesota Police Department, I'd be trying to get all these people away. Burn their homes down to the ground. Really, it's disgusting. And then these people all go to church together as a group. I mean, this is really, really sick. They're going to church, the neighbors. Wait till you hear all this crap.
Okay.
So he knows something's happening. Like, let's...
Yeah.
You're 16, your parents...
Every single one of those 5 kids, angels. Every single one of them, great kids.
Oh, they're great. They're going to be the best.
But, they had to know. I mean, it's...
Oh, they had
You're
to
16, your parents are...
You just said, he just said 3 minutes ago he doesn't think they knew. And now you're going, they had to know. So they had to know. You were okay with 5 children knowing about this? Shouldn't that be enough to go, there's got to be another couple who doesn't have 5 fucking kids that we can do this with?
I mean,
it's kind of gross.
Well, speaking of which, they might have got some ideas of who they wanted to
Yes.
share
Can we
this.
show this? You want to see the real reason we're all here? Can I show that video now? So, okay, I got to come clean, guys.
Don't close that, though, because we
No,
might go
of
back
course
to it.
not. So let me pull this video up. This is kind of how I wanted to open this segment had I not known that so many people weren't caught up with this. So there's a video I want to show you. And this involves us and the Imholtz and the Reketas. I want to come clean about this because nobody knows, this about us here. So I want to show you this tape. Where do I find this?
Next up.
Next up. Okay. Yeah, and is this queued up here?
It should be.
Let me see.
Need to...
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to show you this tape. Now, this is an edit made by a really talented editor. I think listens to Redbar, Citizen
Of
M.
course.
You might have heard of this guy.
He's great.
He makes these steel toe edits. They're really good. They're really good. So this is kind of like an edit, but everything you're hearing in this is all real. It's not like he edited it to make them say something they don't want to say. This is a video I think I got to show you. I got to come clean here about, well, you'll see. All right, I'm going to just let this roll. This is tough for us here, our family, of course. Here we go.
Today collection. I think we're saving those for like hot tub streams and stuff like that.
My wife's a whore.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me back that up just a tad. Start here. Okay, listen to this, guys.
Not the line you want to walk.
No,
in life.
you don't want to be that guy.
Nope.
Packer Backer with $5 says, let's start another April in a bikini today collection. I think we're saving those for like hot tub streams and stuff like that.
So we're seeing a little video of back when April and Aaron were together. This is shortly after their hot tub stream and that bikini thing. Remember I showed you guys April on the show in a bikini? People couldn't believe it. All right, watch this.
My wife's a whore.
Yeah, I think so.
I know it threatens a lot of people. I know the bikini really fucking triggers the shit. I know it triggered the shit out of Redbar, Citizen M.
I didn't know Redbar cared.
Oh yeah, Redbar was very like obsessive about your bikini, showing up in a bikini on stream.
I didn't show up in a bikini on stream. knock out tomorrow's goal and I'll turn around for 30 seconds. I didn't show up in a bikini on stream, you.
No. I think
guy.
that kind of fucked Redbar.
Did you see that? Did you see what you caught? Now, this isn't the point of the video, but I wanted to stop that. Listen to this.
You.
I think
guy.
that
Jew guy.
April, can I get a written apology for everything you've ever said about us?
You Jew guy. Okay, that's besides the point. I just thought that was funny. So she is a pro-Palestinian.
Are you so embarrassed right now?
Okay, let's listen to this because this is a little serious here. It involves us.
I didn't show up in a bikini on stream, you.
No. I think that kind of fucked Redbar up a little bit. And then I think because it fucked Redbar up, it fucked Citizen M up. Because he does what...
No shit. So I must have missed that whole saga that he watched that and stuff. Not very complimentary.
Yeah. You could definitely tell that women in bikini are kind of a threat to Mike.
What the fuck?
Thank you. The editor knows.
Doesn't Jules ever wear one for you?
I don't think Jules...
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you this. I don't think Jules and Mike have fucked in years. I mean, am I wrong?
I have no idea. I haven't listened.
What the fuck are you doing?
Coming up.
First of all, Mike probably couldn't fuck before. Wait a minute. April has herself a nice little orgasm, and she doesn't get tired.
I don't do that every time.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Fucking tell people that
Aaron,
in front of them. Aaron can't fuck. April fucking never comes.
Now, you're looking handsome today.
Yes, and?
Did you know that there's other people out there who think you look handsome?
Oh, really? Like who?
Mike probably couldn't fuck.
Well, that's kind of sad, and I can't really agree with that because I used to think he's really hot.
Cut to me. April used to think I was really hot. I was nearly a victim of Rekeita law. This could have been us. We were moments away. Had I not made fun of Aaron for copying Redbar, we could have been doing bullets, having kids, living in Minnesota, swapping with the M-Holtz. I was this close to being up on that screen involved in those mugshots. So there it is.
That's kind of sad, and I can't really agree with that because I used to think he's really hot.
Okay. So, wow, look at that. Thank you for that edit. Chills down my spine. I mean, really, we came close. So when I cover this, this is very personal for me, you know, as
God damn,
we were nearly victims.
You should go to the beginning of this clip really quickly because it has an example of Aaron's lies.
Okay, let's see that. This is beautiful edit by Citizen M.
I'm probably the best broadcaster. Citizen M says you've been melting down. Citizen M's been melting down for years. I would definitely not trust Citizen M. Keith,
Wow, yeah, no.
you're going to be a better guy than this. Like, you're going to grow up. You're going to be a better man than this. This is not the end of the road for you. Let me tell you right now. I've been owning these guys forever. I've been driving them nuts. Citizen M is just the latest of the ones I've been driving nuts. I mean, Melton I've driven nuts. Citizen M I've melted. These people have dedicated their lives to 4 hours of my day.
7 hours, she says.
And I'm on it. Don't get me wrong. The April drug shit, that will fucking stop. I will put a fucking stop to that post fucking haste. I carry these people. I give them a purpose, and they can't stand it. And then Keith can't stand it when I point it out. It breaks his brain. Citizen M has been a bit more deranged recently than usual. I warned him about this, and I warned you guys about this.
That might have been it.
So there it is. Yeah. So
that's the way he was yelling at people.
Yelling at everyone. We're all crazy.
April might be using drugs.
We're all wrong. We're all nuts. Okay, let's go back to this one here.
Looking at April, like this has all been Aaron week.
We haven't even really had a chance to go back and watch some of the April moments. We weren't following this when they were accusing her of being on drugs. You know, we had seen the bikini stream, but we really didn't follow any of this steel toe stuff. So yeah, it would be great to go back. Again, I've lost enough time to this.
But doesn't seeing her make you like so sick for some reason?
Well, especially, hearing that we could have been swapping with them. You know, we were this close to being those Rekeitas. You know, had I not dissed Aaron, we could have, our friendship could have blossomed.
Why did she do that to him? He was going on a nice little rant about how
oh, I bet Mike is horrible at fucking.
Could
and
you
he-
imagine if during the show Jules admitted she had the hots for Aaron Emholt? I mean, I'd blow my head up.
And then she
So
just
I can't
throws him
believe-
completely under the bus by saying that you're hot when he was trying to do a big thing about how you are so disgusting and can't fuck.
Let's take a quick little break, just a quick little bathroom break. When we go back, we'll show you some of these stories. We'll be right back in seconds. Don't go anywhere. Throw on some of those tunes, and we'll see you soon on this wonderful Red Bar. And don't worry, we've got plenty more to do after this. This is just the intro. We'll see you soon.
This is what this song is dedicated to April.
Thank you. Coming back. Hello. Welcome back to Red Bar. This is gonna drop. Welcome back to Red Bar. We hope you're having a joyous time. But listen, I know this is a little different direction for us here. I know we're spending a long time. Feel free to skip ahead if you don't care about the steel toe stuff. Should we take a poll? Should we see if people are bored with this? Or if they're excited by it, they want to hear more? It's up to you. We could wrap it up real quick or we could keep going.
Press 1 if you're loving this and we should keep talking about steel toe for a little longer. Press 2 if you're like, we've heard enough, we get the idea.
Yeah, this is a tricky one for me because, again, we were embroiled in the thrill of this coming out as it happened, and we really dedicated a lot of our time this week to watching all of this stuff as it unfolded. But I definitely understand if this is not, if you guys haven't been following these two, if it means nothing to you.
Everyone is saying, I care more, keep going, more.
Okay.
One guy says too, but I'm seeing.
Let me know. And I'm not going to do that for any other stuff. It's just this steel toe stuff. When we go low like this, I've always tried to keep this low life stuff out of our universe. I feel like this is too low for Red Bar, but this story is incredible. I mean, there's so much here. So
how about we do a teeny bit more and try to wrap it up nice with a little bow?
Teeny bit more, and then we could do a 2-hour Q&A about Aaron M. No.
I'm seeing about 75% ones, 25% twos.
Okay. Well, let's split the difference, and we'll do a little bit more, and then we'll move on. Because, again, to be honest with you, this isn't the type of stuff I like to do, going over this.
I know.
I don't like sharing with everybody the news that everybody else has already shared. I kind of like to give my little own spin on things. But, as far as the amount of information, the backstory, I feel like it would be irresponsible to give my take without showing people if they have no idea.
Pick one more.
Yeah, so
it sucks because
it's
this
so
whole
tough.
thing is like so crazy.
I know,
and I haven't even got started.
I know.
Okay, go to like 229 for a little bit. There's some crazy stories there, I think.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I could do this for 2 weeks straight if I had to.
We don't make a habit of this kind of stuff if this is your first Red Bar.
Yeah, that's why I feel bad.
I know,
because
because I know there's a guy sitting there going,
and I thought about this all week. Like, how are we going to cover this? Because it's so much information. But I know so many people wanted us to cover it. I've been getting messages all week. Mike, please cover this whole thing. But I think it's been pretty much covered, but then so many people don't know about it. It's a tough one. So I do apologize.
Not much longer.
We'll make it up to you, of
We'll do
course.
some speed stuff.
Okay, so let's hear this. What are we getting into here?
This is when he starts talking about all the stories about them fighting and
229?
Yeah. Or maybe you guys should just watch this on your own.
Okay. Is there one more juicy one we could do?
30100.
Like, let's do the most incriminating one.
He tells a ton of stories about how there are a ton of sex stories and all these sex toys the Rekeitas have, the Baldo everyone's obsessed with.
301. Now, what's going to happen here at 301?
About Nick and Kayla fighting each other.
That's what this is?
No, I'm just glossing over.
What's 301?
They're talking about the kids again.
Okay, let's hear this.
Well, just kiss your marriage goodbye. It's over. I honestly think that once you even suggest it, you're probably done. It's over, either consciously or subconsciously, because I wanted to fuck Kayla. Like,
all right. Well, Captain Cisco for 4 asks, did Kayla like Star Trek Enterprise, or what was her favorite show?
I know she hated Discovery.
Right.
Discovery she thought was too PC and shit, which I watched a few. I sat up and watched some Star Trek with my beautiful Kayla. I think she liked Enterprise or she liked the series Picard. She enjoyed that. And then the one that had Picard on it, I can't remember which one that was.
Next Generation. Okay.
Next Generation, yeah.
All right. So I'm glad we know a little bit about her Star Trek preferences. John Potter for 10 asks, did Nick ever talk about Ethan Ralph?
He talked about Ralph once in a while. He would always kind of say that he was okay
where
with
they
him.
Go, are you worried that someone's going to tell the kids when they turn 18?
Yeah. Okay, is that coming up?
I don't know. I didn't check these time codes because I didn't know that we were doing this.
Well,
I know.
What is the most important stuff that we need to get out here?
Because we are here, if I could show people what we're dealing with here. Can I show people that?
Let me see. This is why I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm going to show you this. Just creep this. Oh, that's not going to let me.
Never mind. That's not going to let me.
Okay, here, let me say this.
I've got over 300 notes about Aaron.
Okay, how about this? Do you want to
I
watch
knew this was going to happen too because I have no idea how a show that's on once every 10 days is going to manage to cover all this.
300 notes, and
Did
they're
you
all in
want to show
red.
2 seconds of his mood on Ethan Ralph? So this entire show, he's on the top of the world, talking about all this sex stuff. He's a really cool guy. He's in love with Kayla. The swaps. He's the good guy here. He left for the kids. They've got him on top of the world here. Then next he goes on Ethan Ralph's show, who kind of surprises him with the hard questions.
Yeah.
And he starts realizing, oh no, I've got myself into
these
this.
guys are kind of just mocking me. They don't really care about me. They're kind of setting me up to
fail here.
Here, so just show 2 seconds of this.
Just let me know where it's coming.
I put it next up.
Great. Okay.
Rumble. This one? Rumble?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Now, well,
time code?
You should go to 57.
57. We're dealing with Rumble here. Okay.
So now he's on with Ethan Ralph, who they kind of hate the last podcast we were listening to. Now, Aaron booked all these shows, and he was really excited to do it. However, he comes on this show, and they've got 2 co-hosts on over Skype that Aaron doesn't know, and they're all kind of just mocking him. They're all kind of making fun of him, and he's kind of realizing in real time here, oh, I've kind of been set up by all these guys, and they're kind of laughing at me. So now we're finally seeing, after a week, and trust me, there was his own episodes. He was going on everyone's shows. He was having a field day. Here's where we finally start seeing the stress of the matter catch up to Aaron. We're seeing him break down. We're seeing him kind of realize this is probably not the best thing he should be doing.
I yelled, everybody get the fuck out of the house. Leave. Get the fuck out of here. Sent my kids outside to play and just fucking lost it. That was because I had asked very early on when Nick was over at my house. My kids were not home. Nick took out the bullet again, and he put a little bump or a small line out on my kitchen counter and just did it. And I just looked at him. I said, what the fuck are you doing? I go, what the fuck? I go, I got.
So in this part of the story, Aaron's claiming that one night when they were hanging out at Aaron's house, Nick brought the Coke around the kids, and Aaron's against that at his house. So when they're at the Rekeitas, it's fine to have Coke and the family sleepovers every night. But when they're at Aaron's house and the kids are around, no Coke. So that's what we're hearing here. Or is there going to be another?
Yeah, I think keep going.
I got 3 kids that come here. If my ex-wife found out there was a fucking speck of this shit, I'm going to lose my fucking kids. Don't ever bring it in my house. My house was a known no drug zone. I was not.
But it was
okay
all
with
right to do in his house with 5 kids being homeschooled.
That's a fair question.
Yeah, no, that's not only a fair question. That's an accurate statement of how we treated it, and it's fucking dog shit. And we have a lot to atone for, and we fucked up big time. None of us are innocent. Bad parents, bad spouses, bad everything.
But it was okay to do coke around his kids at his house, but not at your house.
Not around his kids. I will say this.
Well, not around his kids, but at the same house as his kids. Yeah,
I'm just making sure you.
Right, yeah. I know you guys weren't snorting up lines in front of the kids, but it was at the house with the kids there, allegedly, according to you.
Allegedly. I mean, they found.
I'm putting allegedly because I'm playing this neutral, and
I get it. But the cops found it at the house, and the kids were home. I mean, obviously.
But you see why some might say, like, well, it's okay at his house with all these kids, but not yours. Like,
yeah. Did you feel like there was designated zones, like clearly this bathroom and this master bedroom were like the designated
So he didn't
zone.
expect anyone to be asking these tough.
Yeah. So now once he starts getting these tougher questions, and they're kind of putting him on trial here, he's finally getting a little bit more uncomfortable and rethinking his whole media tour.
So that's kind of the tone of this whole interview. You can go to 105.30. This is a good part.
105.30.
We're just skip. If you're into this, you got to watch both of these in full.
Yeah, these are great in full.
Real life are very good friends. We started out just shitting on each other. But he's a good guy too. I'm gonna do these 2 shows and then I'll keep it to my show because I'm fucking overexposing myself like crazy and didn't realize it until I looked at all the bookings I've been doing. And number 2,
when we were watching all this, we're like, wow, Aaron really thinks he could just go on these shows, tell his whole story, and then he could move on and go back to doing his show like normal, and that everything was going to be fine. And we're sitting in the car and we're listening to this and we're going, these people, he's going to be like everyone's new fool. They're going to be picking at this Aaron and eating his bones for years to come. And then we hear this part. Listen to this, confirming what we believed.
This is going to end. Like, the coverage of this is all going to be done. I got to get back to doing my fucking show at some point. The only thing is my show is talking about my life and talking about the news. And like I said, my life is the news. The news is my life at the moment.
Well, I can tell you this for a fact. It's not going to end anytime soon.
And look at his face when he says this. Imagine this guy saying this to you. I'll tell you this. This ain't ending anytime soon. And then you see Aaron finally, it kind of sinks in, huh? This is your new life. So, yeah, really, he's in real big trouble, bro.
That was kind of the tone of this whole interview.
Yeah, let's see how he reacts to that.
Be with you forever.
Yeah, Ralph has been dealing with this for years.
Right. Well, scandals and stuff like that, like, it'll be with you forever. But I'm saying there's more coming down the line. Rekeita's going to come back and stream. All this stuff's going to happen. Like, it won't just go away. And by the way, caller, you can stop requesting. You've already called in, so we're doing our thing here. If somebody else wants to call in, no disrespect, but you've already had your call in. Yeah, I mean, there's more to come. Like, this thing is still got a lot of burn on it.
A lot of burn. Imagine somebody saying it like that, guys. This thing's got a lot of burn on it. This is going to be around for a long time. Uh-oh.
Well, I do.
Wait. Let him answer.
I really hope that because I heard something today about he was going nuts in some group chat or something and saying stuff he shouldn't. I really hope that before he does any kind of comeback or anything like that, he goes and gets help. He goes and gets sober, and he does it the right way because he's facing very serious shit right now, and he can't be slipping up. I really just want the fucking guy, and I want Kayla, and I want April. Well, April isn't facing any charges. I just want everyone to fucking get clean. That's it. That's all I want.
All right. Yeah, in his ideal world, they go to rehab for about a year. And then they kind of don't want to talk about it when they come back. Maybe you'll get out of this scot-free, huh? Not a chance. All right, well, that's kind of what happened with Steel Toe.
Sorry for the abridged version.
I knew that. And this is why Redbar doesn't like covering Steel Toe.
There's a couple more mini things, like you donated $300 to him, and Aaron promised us that he would send us merch, and I just wanted to say that I want the Stonies tank top that April was wearing in that one pic.
Some of you guys saw that on his first show back after all this. We gave him his goal. We donated the $300.
I've got a little clip, and next up it's like 1 minute long.
Okay. And
then I want to talk about the Gino thing, and then that's it.
Okay. Aaron promised us merch. Here's this. It's queued up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gave him the $300, his goal. I said, thanks for the amazing week of entertainment. You know, if there's one thing about Redbar you need to know, we pay for our content. You know, we buy every movie on iTunes. You know, how many movies, and we should show you our movie collection of $30 streaming movies we've purchased from iTunes. We pay for all the Jake Paul fights. We pay for everyone's Patreons. We pay for everyone's bonus content. Hackamania. We're paying for it all. So I gave him the $300. I said, thanks for the amazing week of entertainment. And he says, here, is he going to say something here?
Let's
see what we got.
Redbar Scars Club with $2.99. Thank you. Thanks for the amazing week of entertainment. Hey, anytime, buddy. Number one, Josh Denny fan with $5 says the Redbar super chat is the real Mike. Put him on the board, numbnuts. Well, then in that
got
case,
a board of their top donator.
Mike David is in first place. You know what I'll do? I won't send Mike the $100 to Stoney's because he'll never fucking use it.
Yes, I will.
If Jules or somebody would send me Mike's sizes and address I can send it to, I'll send Mike a bunch of merch.
Stoney's tank top.
Bunch
same
of merch.
size as April.
BJ says,
we want that merch. Yes, thank you, Aaron. We would love that merch. And that's part of the saga. I suggest everybody go listen to that Kino Casino and that other one.
And lastly, we have a message for Gino.
Oh, that's true. Because Gino and his girlfriend, you guys remember Gino,
Flat Broke
right?
Gino!
Gino and his girlfriend are still hanging out with this Aaron Emholt. You know, they're still very good friends. Did we want to play this first X?
Well, those are just examples of Gino's new lifestyle.
Yeah. You know, we always called Gino
Flat Broke Gino!
Flat Broke Gino. We always made fun of his... his poorness and how shitty he lived. I gotta say, Gino has turned it around. Look at Gino now. This is what he looks like now. He's rich. Gino's got this amazing girlfriend, Keanu. Look at them, night on the town. I mean, this could be a billionaire. Look at him checking his phone while having some wine. He's cleaned himself up. I want to show you this. He's got this beautiful. Look at his luxury apartment now. Remember, we used to make fun of Gino's porness. This girl, Keanu, came and cleaned him up. She must have some money, this family. So congratulations
she has nice
to
teeth.
Gino.
She has rich person's teeth.
Gino, we are fans now. We love that you matured. We love that you cleaned up your act. You've got to get away from Aaron Emholt. You cannot continue to be friends with him. He's trying to steal your wife right now. The girl that you've had this amazing relationship with, the girl that's changed your whole life. You're going to let Aaron sit there and stream with her every day? You know, this girl with Gino's girlfriend goes on Aaron's broadcast like 2 times a week. They spend 4 hours together while Aaron flirts with your girl. Please, trust me, Gino. You know I'd always give it to you straight. You know, out of all the battles you've been in, I was the fairest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was the fairest of them all. You got to listen to me when I say stay away from those Emholts. You know, the other one, Keanu, his girlfriend's talking about how she hopes April shows up to their wedding still so that Aaron and April could share a dance and reconnect. That's insane. Please stay away from the Emholts, Gino. And please let Gino know. Redbar is very concerned. Aaron is now trying to steal your girl.
Tons more cowbell in the chat says her family owns a giant fireworks company. She's loaded.
Wow, look at that fireworks. I knew it. So that's why Gino is being so good to this one. She's cleaned him up. She's taken him out of poverty.
We were talking about
that's
how
it. I want to
rich
wash my
she
hands
was.
with this steel toe stuff. I feel so dirty. Let's get Redbar back on track.
No more steel toe until they release the body cam footage.
Yeah.
It's just ugly. Who's there?
A murderer.
Murderer who?
Let's kill Logic's kid. Fuck. Logic baby ugly.